Hi there, this is Martin Popoff, scribbler of 85 heavy metal books and host of History in 5 Songs with Martin Popoff podcast. When I need to get my Kiss fix, I listen to Shout It Out Loudcast with Tom and Zeus. Listen to us both on the Pantheon Podcast Network or wherever you get your podcasts. Check them out.
Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the Shout It Out Loudcast. I went the Shout It Out Loudcast just to piss Zeus off.
Oh, no.
Don't turn your radio dial. You're in the right place because the album review crew is back with episode 30. We're calling this one, While I'm Not Sure What Door I'm Knocking On. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. I know it ain't heaven. Tommy! How are you? It always feels like he's like squeezing out a shit when he's singing, so I figured I'd go there.
We'll get into that.
I was wondering where you were going with that. I'm like, dude, is he dropping ass? What's he doing there?
Oh, yeah. So we got our first repeat appearance on Album Review Crew. Guns N' Roses, Use Your Illusion 2, a second appearance.
Electric Boogaloo.
That's right. Yes, that's right. Zeus's pick.
Yes. I'm anxious to hear everyone's thoughts. I know this was right around everyone's wheelhouse. Mm-hmm. I remember exactly where we were and all that other stuff. So, yeah, I know Sonny's being coy right now. We'll find out what he really thinks about this. But before we go on further, what do we have to do?
We have to thank our friend Tony from Restrained.
No, we don't.
We don't have to, but we're being bullied into it. So. But no, that's our buddy Tony from Estranged with our killer intro music for the show. Tony, thank you as always. So yeah, we didn't forget this time. It's a rarity to remember.
So Tony is Sonny's friend.
Yeah, he's not our friend.
No, that's how we met him. As I'm trying
we keep forget to thank him. I don't want to. Why? Fuck him. That's why.
Yeah, exactly. But I was saying we met him through Sonny,
right?
And then I met last night Sonny's podcast mate, Casada, in person. I got to see him play live.
That's right. Yeah. Excellent. I missed it, of course, because I had other obligations. But yeah, we'll see everybody at Creatures Fest.
Yeah. He is a handsome man.
Well, he's all right.
Come on, guys. I set that up for you. Come on. You're supposed to come back with how much were you drinking or anything like that. But all right.
How much were you drinking?
A lot, but that's okay.
Yeah, maybe that's why you think he's handsome.
Yeah. Well, I don't really think he's handsome, but that's okay. Anyway, we had a lot of fun with last month's episode. The band Heat, and we did Heat 2. Electric Boogaloo.
That's right.
And Tom, how did the poll go?
Well, it's funny. As we were preparing for this episode, I don't know what the hell happened, but we didn't do a poll for Heat. And everybody was like, oh, what the hell? And I said, it's fine because it probably would have gotten about 9 votes anyways. Oh. But yeah, we forgot to do a poll for Heat. And it's funny because the only other time we ever forgot a poll was also a Sonny Pooney pick, and that was Winger. So I don't know what's going on here with Sonny's picks.
I don't control the polls.
I don't either. I just
you.
So I did a poll. I actually did one.
Go ahead.
For Heat. Who Victory won.
Oh yeah. Victory. So no poll, but we do have plenty of feedback from you guys. So we're gonna try to get through that before we tackle some Guns N' Roses here. So from Twitter here, we got our buddy MD, and he says, "Granted, the only parts of these songs I've ever heard are the clips you played on the show. But am I the only one who listens to Dangerous Ground and hears Loverboy?" Ooh, yeah. Okay, not bad. Half of these comments are funny because it's all Sonny like defending this album. Like it's people like coming at him. And, this is good. Uncle Paulie, he goes, I think I know what HEAT stands for. Here's Europe another time.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that.
Oh, here we go. Fat Vince is out of breath chimes in. He says,
I should say I couldn't sing any of those songs no matter how much you paid me.
Well, that's pretty much what he says. He goes, this music is so bad that if I sang these songs, I would make them better. But I can't because I'm fat. Oh, here we go.
I'm fat.
Our buddy Jack Broad says, wow, I just checked them out. They're like a shittier version of Europe.
Another Europe comment.
Oh, God almighty. Oh, here, Ray Farrow jumps in and says, I will sponsor the show for $1,000 a month at the Patreon level if I can veto power over Sonny Pooney's ARC picks.
I like it. I say call him on that.
Okay. Yeah. Ken in Satan Service jumps in and says, not really my thing, but I did like the song Dangerous Ground. My biggest problem with the bands on the other side of the globe are their shitty band names. Speaking of which, do you like Tiger Tails?
With a Z?
Yeah, with a Z. And then he has a picture of the album, and this looks like a horrific Britney Fox cover band.
Is Tiger Tails, isn't that a kid cartoon?
No, that's Veggie Tales.
Veggie Tales. Celery, broccoli.
The fact that that's Sonny's next ARC pick, the Veggie Tales soundtrack. Oh, God. All right, here we go. West Beach, our buddy, he says, thanks for a band I never heard of. Good job, Sonny. You guys ought to give Crazy Licks a listen. Oh, boy. I don't know about that.
They're good.
Another Swedish band.
I have heard about them. Let's see. Amy J says, oh, poor Sonny. The peeps are coming at him hard. This band has the talent this band has talent for the choruses. I enjoyed this episode and all the movie references. I can totally hear these songs in Cobra Kai, the TV show. I like it.
Makes sense.
Uh-oh. Dizzy Dean's picket fence teeth chimes in.
Oh, no.
Thought he retired.
He's been quiet lately, so maybe he came out. I don't know. Change the song "We Are Gods" to "We Play Clubs," and you're getting closer to reality. Oh boy. Oh, our buddy from My Rock and Roll Heaven up in Canada, he says, great album. David King says, great band, would have been huge in the 80s. Yeah, that's kind of the problem. Our buddy Steve. Wow, this one came out of nowhere. I saw them over here. I think he's in the UK. So I saw them over here at one of their first shows. An amazing band. Great choice, Sonny. Ooh, okay. Clark Side of the Moon says, I just got through the episode. I was a little skeptical, but I give props to Sonny for banging the drum for new rock bands. All right. Uh-oh. And then we got another good one. This is the Twitter account known as Sonny Pooney's Terrible Taste. I'm a little upset that this tweet about my absolute worst ARC pick ever has been relegated to the bottom of the Twitter feed due to the hashtag End of the Road Madness tournament. Feels like he got superseded. Oh, no. Miserable Music Man jumps in.
Oh, no. This guy is always negative.
He says,
like in a bad way.
Yeah, he says, I have been holding out on this, but the time is now. Sonny is sabotaging your show on purpose. What the fuck is this album? This is embarrassing, but you guys are great, so I will listen as always. Hashtag Fire Pooney.
Oh, fuck off,
Jesus Christ. And then you follow that up with a comment from Damien Monte Carlo. Amazing record. So, I don't know. There's a lot of love-hate for Heat, which is what we want on this show. So that's what we got for Twitter.
All right, let me get to Facebook and weed out the stupid shit from the good shit.
Oh, take your time.
LP Sterlino.
Uh-oh.
Swedish. Is this a torture pick? But then he writes, can't wait to hear this one.
Yeah.
Jack Broad, this is horrible and should make for a great episode. Matt Wallace says, of course it's Sonny's pick.
Oh, boy.
Nick Olino. Jesus Christ. Who the fuck is he? Our buddy and Sonny's buddy, Kevin Jepson.
Uh-oh.
This was a weird listen. Completely up and down. Great song, then meh. Great song, and meh. And a stinker ballad, but definitely enough here that I'm going to dive into their catalog.
There you go.
Dude's voice is nuts. He's now the lead singer of Skid Row. Sonny Pooney, how is he the new lead singer? Where should I start with them?
Oh, there you go, Sonny. Help out a listener.
I did. I sent him something.
Oh, okay, good.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
Good.
We don't have to listen to what you said. Mark Weiss. This is what I love about the album review episodes. We get classic albums and a new band such as Heat. It's an amazing album and a great episode. I love this album. I might be the only person in the U.S. that owns this record on vinyl.
Wow.
I have it on vinyl. So there's two of us.
There you go. Good for
and
you.
He also added an amazing band. It's amazing on Desert Island record, in my opinion.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow. Good for him.
Wow. All right.
Ray Gallus.
Uh-oh.
Sounds like he's Sonny Pooney bad pick.
Oh, Jesus.
And then Warden has a big fucking screen thing of brutal going off, and like
it's not brutal. I mean, I know we had some fun with the episode, but there are definitely some songs that, yeah, it's not. Yeah.
Josh Smith says these guys kick ass.
Ooh.
Tons of lineup changes, but they still put out awesome music. Heat 2 is almost good all the way through. Brian Lee.
So it's interesting. He said tons of lineup changes. There's actually only been 6 members. They've just revolved a little bit.
Don't they just keep changing the singer?
No, and they had a second guitar player. He was in for a while. Then Dave left first. Then he left. Then Dave came back. So it's like it's the same 6 guys though.
So since Eric, sorry, Zeus, go ahead.
I was going to say, isn't the main guy the keyboard player and is it the bassist?
Jonah.
Yeah. They run most of the songs, right?
Yeah. The songwriting kind of splits out throughout because Dave DeLone, who's a guitar player, writes a lot of the songs too. But it's been a Heat family, right? Yeah. But they haven't really veered away from just 6 guys. But when you look at all the albums, it's like, wait a second, the lineup's not the same. But if you put all the names together, it's within those 6.
Yeah. So real quick, so Eric is now the lead singer of Skid Row. So what's what's the status of Heat right now?
Well, he's got their old new singer. Remember, they broke back.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Guy. So
yeah.
So it's like all these guys are like on standby. It's like a basketball team. Like they have like 5 starters and like 5 guys on the bench, and they just rotate.
Yeah, it's kind of like the whole fucking quarantine Fozzy fucking Eric Martin PJs and 15 bands. Right?
It's true. Yeah. No. Yeah.
Alternating.
Yeah.
I think it was Brian Lee Hecht said this is a great record. Philippe Melander, I think it's our Swedish friend. He says in Sweden we call them melantontar. Curious to know what that means. You want to let us know, Philippe? Joe Decker.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Fusion Tech.
Yeah.
I was just saying the other day, I think my music tastes most aligned with Sonny's because we're the same age and I hate grunge. I think I'm about to be wrong.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it's Mike Murphy that says, is this a real group? Never heard of them.
Oh, Jesus. Yes, it's a real group.
Maurizio Sveltila wrote, the review was entertaining as always, but Heat are beyond awful. True Heat is Mr. Cannon eating linguine and clams at Mr. Angelino's.
Oh, jeez.
Which was a Three's Company episode.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. Yep, that's right.
Oh, Joe comes back. Joe Decker comes back. Gotta thank Sonny Pooney again. I've listened to this album on shuffle at least 3 times since listening the first time during the show. I absolutely love it. The guitar player plays the way I wish I could. I definitely be borrowing some things from him. Like Zeus said, this album would never come across my radar had it not been for this album review. I'm definitely a fan now. Thanks, Sonny.
Wow. See, and that's from our buddy Joe Decker. So wow, good for you. There you go.
Scott Wheeler. Considering all the classic albums and the pick is Heat, is the band demon level Patreon supporters? Mike Anderson, who the fuck is Heat?
Those comments are my favorite because people are like, what?
In a Leonard Washington voice. Oh, do you know who Leonard Washington voice is?
Is it Boom Boom Washington from Welcome Back, Kotter?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's the Dave Chappelle character when he did the wife swap.
Oh, yes.
White family, Leonard Washington.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Oh, I'm like, holy fuck, where did he get that? Jack Pinocchio. Yes. Well done, Mr. Pooney. Don't listen to Tom or Zeus for laughing about your pick.
Ugh.
I've heard Heat before because I'm a fan of Crazy Licks.
Oh, my goodness.
And Swedish rock, for that matter. And he brought that up at our beer social the other day, remember?
He did talk about
On
Crazy
Friday.
Licks.
Yeah, he brought that up. And Randy Michael says, finally, a decent pony pick. Things are looking rough for a while.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
On our YouTube. Thomas Bridges writes 15 question marks.
Nice.
And Anthony Stratus says, great episode. So that's all I got, Tom. And Sonny, over to you guys.
Sonny, you got a couple emails we're going to plow through. You want to start with the ones you got?
Yeah, so I got 3 here. First one's from Angelo Capasso. He labeled it, "Are you kidding me? Zeus and Pooney are so fucking wrong about their assessment of the movie Heat being better than Goodfellas."
I forgot about that conversation.
No, we're not.
Yeah.
One interesting fact about Heat, it was the first time De Niro and Pacino are in the same scene together in a movie. I guess they were in Godfather, but they never shared a scene. I didn't know that. Anyways, Tom is correct in being in being discussed by these two nutbags. Minus the Godfather, nothing touched Goodfellas. Do I amuse you? I love that. Do I amuse you?
Of course.
I'm a funny guy. What do you? No, he knows what he said. Go ahead.
It's the greatest. No. He's a big boy. Yeah. He knows what he said.
Yeah, he knows what he said. So he says, "Love you guys. Keep up the great work." And then Angelo says he's 100% Italian, and he wanted to give an honorable mention to Donnie Brasco and A Bronx Tale. I like both those movies. I think Donnie Brasco is better than A Bronx Tale.
I absolutely love Bronx Tale. It's a different kind of movie because it's like a family movie and a gang movie too. I love it.
The roles are reversed. That guy should not be playing the gangster, and De Niro should not be playing the father.
Oh, I love Chaz Palminteri as the gangster. He's awesome. He's great.
Goofball.
Okay. So then the next email, I'm going to butcher this name, but I'm going to try. I think is Jane Aslak Razanen.
That's our Finnish friend.
That's our Finnish friend. Yes.
The hockey player.
Yeah.
So the problem for me with Heat is the same with other Swedish retro bands. Instead of looking forward and creating something new while being influenced by the past, they seem to be falling in the category of nostalgia act. There are Swedish punk bands that sound exactly like LA punk bands that were in the week of August 83, bands that try to recreate July 75 in Birmingham all over again. Every note, every lick, every instrument, every shoelace and mustache hair is meant to be a reference to a particular era. Heat has taken every element, be it musical or visual, from somebody else's catalog, as long as it was from 1987. There's nothing wrong with that, but that will keep them in clubs and prevent them being truly huge, like Ghost, who combines elements of 60s, 70s, and 80s with modern elements and creates something original while doing so. Both bands are looking back, but one is looking forward.
Wow.
I will say something about Ghost. There's literally 3 songs I like, and I own every album by mistake, and I'll tell you why in a minute.
Okay.
I also acknowledge the rivalry between Finland and Sweden. The Finnish bands tend to possess a certain element of craziness, absurdity, or weirdness, while Swedish bands are usually more sophisticated. But when it comes to rock music, I always prefer a little craziness over sophistication. Having said that, I enjoyed the episode very much. Keep on breaking boundaries and new ground with ARC. I wish Heat and the likes would do the same. I mean, I really like Classic 78, but they'll never fill arenas, nor will Heat.
Ooh, wow.
So here's what happened to me with Ghost. I heard one song, and I can't. Oh, it was Square Hammer.
Square Hammer. I was going to say,
Hammer.
it's like the big song, yeah.
Loved it. Bought the 3 albums that were out. didn't like one other song.
Yep.
I'm like, God damn it. So then the new album came out, and Rats was the first video. Loved that song. Bought that album, did like another fucking song on that album.
Wow.
Like,
So they're like
Ghost.
So they're like tricking their listeners with one big hit to get you to buy the album.
Yeah, basically.
Wow.
And then a very surprising email. I will say this is surprising. Wow. Okay. So I'll tell you who it is afterwards. Hi, guys. Kudos to Mr. Pooney for bringing this surprisingly good hidden gem to ARC. Like you guys, I'd never heard of this band, and I approached this episode with much trepidation, as the title sounds like one of those cheesy 80s kids live-action TV shows. What a pleasant surprise. A song after song rocked hard with great production and hooks galore. And you know my feelings on metal ballads, but they really surprised me, and like Sonny, the chorus has stayed with me. This is the first selection that I actually ordered. Plan on getting Detonator by Rat 2, but waiting for a record store so I can pick it up super cheap. I hope this trend of getting back to solid rock albums continues, and just hope Zeus doesn't go country on us. Rock on, gents. And that was from Wesley Beach.
That's surprising.
Figured if the two people that were going to hate this thing would be Wesley and Jepson, and I somehow got both of them. That was pretty good.
That's a success story there for you. Yeah.
Yeah. And country's coming too, buddy.
And then I'll just run through a couple comments and emails. So we got a couple comments direct from our website, shoutitoutloudcast.com. This comes from Dizzy. I don't know if that's the same Dizzy Dean, but he says, a gem of an album, bravo. And then we got an email from our buddy Philippe Melander. Hi, guys. As a Swede, I had to write you about Heat. In 2009, Heat, with the original singer, competed in a festival, an annual song competition that determines the country's representative for the Eurovision Song Contest. It has been staged almost every year since 1959. ABBA actually won both this festival and Eurovision in 1974 with the song Waterloo. Andreas Carlsson, one of the Swedish Idol jury members, is very good friends with Paul Stanley and a huge Kiss fan. He wrote some of the songs on Live to Win with Paul and Desmond Child. He's a very famous music producer and songwriter. He wrote the masterpiece, I Want It That Way by the Backstreet Boys with fellow Swede Max Martin. You should try to get him on the show. Eric Gronwall is also a big Kiss fan. He sang Shout It Out Loud on Swedish Idol and got a surprise video greeting from the whole band. Keep up the good work, guys. I love stories like that from bands that we don't know, from guys that are like close to the band. So Philippe, that's pretty cool. Andy Salter. Hey boys, just listen to the newest episode with Heat. It's great to hear a new band doing rock, but just like anything rock related in 2022, they will go nowhere because they cater to an audience and a sound that hasn't been popular since the 80s and will not be again. It's not because it's not good or well written. It's just, for one, we're never going to see another Metallica or Guns N' Roses or even Nirvana, as the industry does not and will not promote rock music, especially a new band. You can say, but Hailstorm are big and they're new. Well, they're not new, and they've been around since the mid-2000s, and they are not big. You ask the average teen or 20-something who they are, and they will stare at you blankly. The day of rock and the rock star is over and has been close to 20 years. The rock we loved and grew up on is now a part of the same group as jazz, blues, and classical. It's a niche sound that will always have a loyal fan base. And let's forget hair metal is seen as a joke by the average person and not taken seriously. But worst of all, music has lost its value to the normie. When you haven't had to pay for something that's 20 years, it loses its worth. It breaks my heart that we will not see another mega band that takes on the world, but that's just the way it is. Thanks, Internet. Anyway, I could ramble about this for hours, but I won't bore you. Peace out, Andy Salter. Yeah.
Was that Gene? That sounds like a Gene opinion.
Yeah, I know. That's a rough one. And then we finish up. We got one last email here from Maddie. Interesting episode for sure. Heat has some very familiar qualities. I can't quite pin it down. Zeus mentioned a bunch of connections, which he always does, but I don't ever find him to be quite right. I go and try to compare, but I never hear what he is hearing. Maybe clipping in the sample into the podcast every time he uses an example. I think he will find that he is wrong many times. Sorry to be negative, Ned, but it's true. Rock on.
Yeah, let me go get some samples and throw some more edits into a fucking thing because I don't have enough time.
Do that, and then we finish off with one of our favorite emailers, Zeus, Penelope Red.
Oh, Jesus.
I have been informed that you read my last email on your show. So I decided to listen to the reaction. Careful, Zeus. You might cause yourself to have an aneurysm. You seemed to have overreacted to my comment involving the End of the Road tournament. You know you have listeners that will purposely vote for songs off that embarrassment of an album, The Elder. That disappointment is warranted. As for this ARC review, I cannot picture a scenario where I would go out of my way to listen to this record if I could even find it. I thought it was obnoxious and uninteresting. It's like the movie Rockstar come to life. Easily bottom shelf of what you previously reviewed. Now, as for the controversy of this being a Pooney burner account, you have the perfect opportunity to address this directly. Sonny should be there. Discuss. Lastly, considering the movie Goodfellas was brought up, yes, you are all clowns and you are here for my personal amusement when I'm in the mood. That's Penelope Red. That's the end of the emails.
Anybody want to go first?
Sonny? He's just
all I can say is just not me. I don't know what else to say.
He's just shaking his head in silence for a minute there.
That's all.
Oh God, I love it.
Well, all I can say is Mac, Maddie, and Penelope Red, go eat a big fucking bag of hairy dicks. But that's
there you
okay.
go. Perfect.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I look forward to their response next month.
What was the first line in that? Something like, it was brought to my attention.
Oh no, I was informed that you read my.
Didn't even listen.
Okay, like they had, like Penelope Red has a handler. Hey, I need to inform you that they read your email.
But I think it was something else along the lines of like, oh, if I give you my, okay.
Yeah, it says I've been informed that you read my last email on your show, so I decided to listen to the reaction. Careful, Zeus, you might cause yourself to have an aneurysm.
No!
No!
Oh no, Penelope Red!
Feedback! All right.
All good. Let's get to the good stuff, as Paul would say.
Where's that?
On this album.
Exactly.
Okay.
This album.
Trolling.
The one we're going to now?
Trolling.
Let's do it, baby.
All right. So, Use Your Illusion 2. I know at one point we were talking the other night, Tom, like, shit, are we going to do a double album sometime at some point? I'm like, oh, I'm not doing a double album. This is the closest to a double album, I think, because it literally has a sister album.
Mm-hmm.
I remember this thing coming out because I was a huge Guns N' Roses fan. I remember when it came out, we were in college, and I remember seeing two of them come out. Like most people, I gravitated towards Blue, that's how I called them, because of the You Could Be Mine.
Yep.
But you kind of knew some of the songs on each of them because Guns had been floating some of these songs around. So I took a look at the back. Mind you, I bought them both. You know, that's what I did, at least. I bought them both that day. But Civil War had already been out. They already kind of released it before the album came out. And I remember liking that. And, you know, You Could Be Mine. You got the video for that. And Knockin' on Heaven's Door. They had been playing that live for a while. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to gravitate towards this one. And although I mean, I could easily have done Use Your Illusion 1. This one is a special kind of thing for me because over the years, a few of these songs have been like just for me, like gems that I can listen to and never get sick of. There are some clunkers in here, but overall, it's Guns N' Roses. So when this thing came out, I mean, Tom, you remember, you know exactly where we were. It was that kind of transition between hair metal is kind of toning down and something new was coming in and Guns was there and Metallica Black Album was there. And all of a sudden people started playing this new band Nirvana and Pearl Jam. But this was here first. So this was like the last, I would think, big, and I hate to say Guns N' Roses is hair metal, but their last big hurrah of dominating was the release of these two albums. Mm-hmm. I jumped on it. I loved it since, you know, I bought it. And I know exactly where it was and when I bought it, freshman year in college. So yeah, it's nostalgic for me, and I was waiting for an opportunity, and I jumped on it when I could pick this again. When I picked another Guns N' Roses album again.
Yeah, so this one, very, very extreme, vivid memories. And I know Murph will listen to this episode, and I know he has the exact same vivid memories. His mind is a steel trap, so his details might be a little clearer than mine. But this album was released right when we moved into Stonehill as freshmen. It came out right in the middle of September. So I had already been on campus a little bit earlier. The guys that we just moved in, we didn't even really know anybody. We would just living in the dorm and meeting people, playing music. And I remember, God rest his soul, Todd, our buddy Todd, came back with and it was a huge event because it's like, oh, Guns N' Roses has a new album, 2 new albums. Oh my God. And we were just like eating it up. And you're right. This was one of my all-time favorite eras of music for that reason. You still were listening to some of the hair metal. Grunge was percolating a little bit. You started to hear a little bit of Facelift from Alice in Chains. Man in the Box was a big song and that kind of stuff on campus. And then you had the Black Album. Then, a year later you had Kiss, Revenge. So those rock bands were kind of getting back to basics. And then you had the introduction of grunge, and it was just a really awesome time for music. But I remember Guns just taking over the fucking world with these releases. And at the time, again, obviously you had no internet, you had no streaming. So you bought the CDs and you listened to them nonstop. And for fans like us, especially living in college at the time, 2 new Guns N' Roses albums nonstop in the dorm room. I mean, what more could you ask? And, we'll get into which one everybody prefers. It seems like the popular pick is this one, the 2.
30 new songs from everyone's favorite, the biggest band in the world,
released 30 new songs. Exactly. Dropped. Yep. Sonny, what about you? Where are you with the Use Your Illusion albums?
Yeah, we talk about it on Growing Up Rock. Steven and I do a lot about the bang zone of your music is high school, probably just your teens in general. To me, it's 2 years past that because most people start making disposable income in their early 20s, right? So from 87 to 91, which we're talking between Appetite and Use Your Illusion coming out, I am 18 to 21.
Yep.
So this is the absolute bang zone of my music, right? I'm about to turn 22. I'm a manager at Target. I got the disposable cash. I buy both albums. I knew exactly when it was coming out because Target had a release radar. We had it 3 days before it was supposed to be on the shelves. Got it immediately, all over it. Had already seen You Could Be Mine. Had already heard Knockin' on Heaven's Door cover. This is, absolute bang zone. But you got to remember, and you'll hear how I feel about these 14 songs. For me, I'm basing it on, I'm trying to compare it to Appetite, Skid Row's first album, Mr. Big's first album, Warren's first album, LA Guns Cocked and Loaded, Extreme Porno Graffiti, House of Lord Sahara, Slaughter's first album. Like some of these albums are absolute desert island albums for me. So I'm looking forward to these 30 songs that they put together because I'm like, it took them 4 fucking years, right? 87 to 91 doesn't sound like a long time. In 87 to 91, this is a goddamn lifetime. Yeah. Those people putting albums out every 12 to 18 months. So what's surprising you're to me that they had 30 songs?
You're forgetting something, though.
In Our Lives.
Exactly, in the middle there, remember?
Yeah, no. And there was live albums coming out in between. Even Ace did that. He released Comet. He released the live album Plus One. Yeah. And then that same year, he got Second Sighting. It didn't surprise me they had 30 songs.
Yeah.
Because it took them so long to do it. Now, Appetite took a minute to get started. So I think that kind of took over some of the time. Mm-hmm. And they were touring a lot. I'm sure the drugs and alcohol didn't have much to do with it either. But so I absolutely remember in it. And I remember I still got my original CDs. They're sitting in front of me and got it first day.
Nice.
Yeah. So let's go to what we normally do. We go right into the album cover.
Mm-hmm.
Tom, you want to lead us off?
Yeah. So two of the most just iconic images, because you're dealing with Use Your Illusion 2, which has the blue and the purple, and then you get Use Your Illusion 1, which has the bright orange and yellow. The images are the same on both, and they kind of take the image from, according to Wikipedia, an artist named Mark Kostabi. And it's a picture of Raphael's painting of the School of Athens, Zeus. There you go. Yeah. So, I mean, the artwork it's very iconic. It's interesting because GNR was known for their artwork, obviously, on their first album. You flip it over, it's got that classic GNR logo, with the pistols wrapped, with the roses wrapped around the barrels and then the blood. So front and back covers, what do you guys think? We can get into the insert and in what's inside the sleeve and everything, but what do you guys think of that? Those eye-catching covers, both of them. I mean, we'll talk about this one, but both of them with those color schemes.
Yeah, to me, I like the color scheme of the other one a little bit better because one of the things that you lose on this front cover is that kid has his head down. Yeah. And there's supposed to be like this purple outline on his hair, but it gets lost because it's so dark. On one, it pops because it's red.
Yep.
Right. Yep. So the other one always, the yellow and the red always kind of popped better to me than this color scheme. Mm-hmm. I get it. It's a cool painting, and I guess it makes them more sophisticated. To be honest with you, I take that as the front cover, right? That guns thing that you were talking about, the normal logo. I take that as a front cover any day of the week. I don't need the whole sophistication of what's going on here, but it's okay, I guess. But the colors just don't pop as well as, it's red and yellow on the other one. I mean, come on.
Right. Zeus, what about you? Where are you with these?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this cover. I think it's just whatever.
In general, or just the colors?
Yeah,
the whole
just
thing?
all of it. And I mean, the Use Your Illusion 1, we'll talk about that at some point. We'll probably get to that. I just think it's more indicative of the first album, the color scheme. So you gravitate it. And the blue one here, it's just different. I like the blue because like I said, the other one reminds me of the first album. So I think this is a little different. Now, there is supposedly a Guns N' Roses Use Your Illusion 3 out there of like miscellaneous shit.
Okay.
And that cover is green. I don't know if you've ever seen that out there.
I think I've heard of that. I don't think I've ever seen it.
Take a look. You guys will find it.
What else? And speaking of that, which they did too, I mean, we can just get this out of the way now too. Years later, they released what everybody, well, I shouldn't say what everybody, but what a lot of people say, oh, why didn't they just make one album? Well, years later, they did. They released a combination of the two, and it's both albums split down the middle diagonally of the orange and yellow and the blue and purple, and it's got 12 songs on it, and it's got 6 songs from each album. So it's available on CD. I think it might be out of print. I don't think it was ever released on vinyl or anything, but that was what a lot of people gravitated to because a lot of people are like, oh, why, we don't need all these songs. Just give me the hits. And I don't know, Guns N' Roses must have listened to people because those 12 songs arguably are all the hits off of both of the albums. So I thought that was kind of interesting that they kind of caved and did that to, taking away sales from people buying both. But I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah. Well, the completist will buy all 3.
Of course. Yeah.
I love that they have the, obviously I think it's sharp inside, the color schemes, and then they have the lyrics, which is always great.
Yep.
And then they have like Slash type art. If you follow Slash on Instagram, these kind of like images that he puts up are pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I would take that as a picture any day that week. The girl with her hair getting pulled. Right.
Yeah, and you can see her.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you can see her huge rack and then the crossbones. Yeah. It's a fucking weird artwork.
I take that as a shirt right now. That's awesome.
Yeah, he does a lot of unique stuff.
Yeah.
And then in the middle, which is really cool, I remember taking a look and studying this. They've got all these like a collage of photos, and they actually number them so you can read who these players were, like that affected this album. So you've got things as much as Del James, which we'll talk about a little bit later. You've got Alice Cooper's image here. You got some pictures of the band, Mike Klink, Michael Monroe, Sonny's hero, Shannon Hoon. There's a lot of good stuff in here. In the end, there's a photo of the band.
They look good there.
Yeah. And you're like, wait a minute. There's 6 of them.
Yep.
What the fuck? Yeah, there wasn't one last time there was you knew of Guns N' Roses. Like, who the fuck is this guy? But anyway, so we'll move from the album cover to the album itself. So Guns N' Roses Use Your Illusion 2, along with Use Your Illusion 1, released September 17th, 1991, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
So right, a little bit after we moved in.
Yep.
And it went instantly number one. This actually sold better than Use Your Illusion 1 when they first came out. They're both, I think, at this point, 7 times platinum, which is 14 million albums sold and still less than what they sold on Appetite.
I know. Amazing.
It debuted at number 1. Mike Klink was back to produce, but they also gave Guns N' Roses production credit on this. The band had changed at this point. So Steven Adler did too much heroin.
Oh, poor Steven Adler.
To be in Guns N' Roses.
Imagine that. That's like Dave Mustaine being thrown out of Metallica for drinking too much.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Or like Lemmy got thrown out of Hawkwind for doing the wrong drugs.
Yeah, exactly.
Like there's a right drug. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So he gets booted. They added a permanent keyboard piano guy, Dizzy.
Yep.
He jumps in, Dizzy Reed. He jumps in. So now there are 6 members of Guns N' Roses. I just remember this as being kind of like, what the fuck? Is there something different? And then, not too long after the album is released, a few video here and there, Izzy leaves. Mm-hmm. And Gilby Clarke comes in, never performed on the album, but he's in all the videos and on the tour. I just wanted to add that in. Mm-hmm. And before we get into the tracks, follow-up thoughts on where we are now.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the production, too, they had Bob Clearmountain was like the original engineer-producer mixing some of the tracks. The band fired him because he was trying to replace some of the actual drums with drum samples. Slash talked about it in his autobiography, and he said that they noticed that Bob Clearmountain had noted the drum samples that he had planned to mix in over Matt Sorum's drum tracks. And the band was like, yeah, no, we're not having that. Like, beat it. We're not doing drum samples for a friggin' GNR album. So they started from scratch with a new engineer, a guy that was named Bill Price, who would work with the Sex Pistols. But talking about the style of the band, and obviously we'll get into it specifically with each song, you could tell right off the bat that this is not Appetite for Destruction, that this is an Axl album. I mean, that's my philosophy on this. We'll get into it, but I will say this. These 2 albums to me, and I think it, like Sonny said, it might have had to do with when they came out. There's such an aura around these 2 albums because the 3 of us were such music geeks that we connect so many things to music, where we were, what was going on, our age, and where we were in life, that when I hear anything off of these albums and see the album covers, it just brings you back to those college years and experiencing new music with friends. And 30 years later, most of these songs fucking just kick ass. Some of them don't, and we'll get into that. But yeah, there's always a lot to talk about with Guns N' Roses, so I'm happy about that. Sonny.
Yeah, I'll just say real quick on the selling of the albums. You are in the bang zone of that music selling and being on the charts. And Guns N' Roses has done it several times now. They understand supply and demand. Just wait it out and you'll create this craziness that when you put it out, I remember when they announced 2 albums were coming, dude, there was people freaking the fuck out about, really? You expect me to shovel out $40 for Guns N' Roses to get it all? Blah, blah. How dare they? Blah, 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 blah. But reality is Guns N' Roses could have shit triple platinum. They could put anything out and it would have went at least triple platinum at that point.
I think that's also, and I can't guarantee this, I'm sure somebody will correct me, but I think that may have been some of the philosophy behind Metallica not releasing Load and Reload at the same time. I mean, they obviously at that time Metallica could have shit and gotten the same thing, but I think Metallica was probably like, well, wait a minute, why do this all at once when we can stretch it out and do what they did? Because a lot of people think Load and Reload should have been one album. I personally disagree because I'm a Metallica geek, but definitely the same kind of theory. And you got to wonder if Metallica kind of saw what was going on with GNR when they released those Load and Reload albums.
That's because in the infamous Behind the Music on VH1,
yep,
when Jason Newsted like, we toured with Guns N' Roses. Yep. We saw what not to do.
Exactly.
Remember
that was it. That was it. Yes. Thank you for clarifying, because I knew that somebody made a reference to these albums and why.
I don't know if it was about the albums, but I know
it was just in general.
Axl was behaving and the whole fucking, James burns his hand in his face and shit. And then they're like, okay, Guns N' Roses, come in and save the day. Fuck this.
You.
The microphone sucks. I'm out of here.
Well, see, now you're bringing up, before we get into the tracks, I just got to tell this quick story. Now you're stirring up one of my most miserable concert memories of my life, because when Guns N' Roses and Metallica did the double bill tour in 91, I've never been more excited in my entire life for a tour ever. And I couldn't go because the show was supposed to be at Foxborough Stadium, now Gillette Stadium. It was supposed to be at the old Foxborough Stadium. That date got postponed. I heard about it by listening to WBCN radio, because at then there was no internet. There was a big story that the show's been postponed because that was when James had his accident. The tour was rescheduled to a Friday night, the night before I had a football game for Stonehill. I couldn't go, and I sold the tickets. And Zeus, I want to see if you remember this name, because I know Murph will. That little shit Sean Rayball bought my tickets. And I almost punched him in the face because when he came home late, dude, that show was fucking amazing. I can't believe you didn't go. I'm like, get the fuck away from me right now. I don't want to hear how great that concert was that I missed. And to this day, I will never forget that I was unable to go to one of the greatest shows ever. But I've seen Guns N' Roses a few times and Metallica a few times, so I guess it all evened out.
One thing I want to add is I also forgot to mention Matt Sorum comes. I said Steven Adler is the last album.
Oh yeah, Matt Sorum.
On. Yeah. So Steven Adler leaves. He only plays on Civil War, and we'll talk about that. And then Matt Sorum comes in, the drummer from The Cult, and Axl kept saying, and throughout this time, and these albums go, their idea was like, enough of fucking Appetite. We want to completely bury that fucking album, move on, something different, and just fucking blow it away, and just be like, that's over there. This is what we're doing. Mm-hmm. Well, they come up with 30 fucking songs. Some are same, but a lot were different. Mm-hmm. So I'll give them that. And the only other thing I would want to add on this is I know, as much as I see where you're coming from when you say this is Axl, I think he takes a lot of the shine on him, and a lot of in the videos and all that other shit. I find this to be a real collaborative effort, and you'll see, because when we go through this album, they'll be like, oh, that's an Izzy song. Oh, that's Duff. That's definitely Duff. Oh, that's Slash. Listen to Slash and the guitar playing. Oh, these are Axl overindulgent lyrics and shit like that. There's a mixture of them. And this is why I think the band was perfect, because they were adding elements of they got the best of everybody.
Well, I think you said it perfectly. I think the reason why I probably said that about Axl is because he sticks out on this album, sometimes not in a positive way. So sometimes that's what you take away from these albums.
And then his behavior dominated this era.
Of course.
So all the craziness, all the fights, all the stadium, it's all Axl. You forgot the original Appetite came out. It was Slash with the bottle of Jack fucking slouched over, or Steven Adler doing something. Now all the attention, because Adler's out, all the attention's all on Axl doing in his antics, and he took over. Yep. So anyway, there's a lot to get to. And the first track is Civil War. Let's hear it.
All right. So Civil War, the song that does Steven Adler in, obviously, because, he couldn't play it right, I guess, but he played it enough to where they gave him a credit anyway. So the good. I like the whistling start, like Slash's guitar tone, super crunchy, like all the dynamics of Axl's vocal. Love the end about what's so civil about war anyway. Like the idea that they wrote this on the road and that Slash wrote the instrumental in the Japanese leg. Axl's writing lyrics in Australia. I think all that stuff's great. The bad. Does a song actually have to be as long as a Civil War? Like, god damn, dude.
Oh, he's already complaining about long songs, and we haven't even gotten to any yet.
Dude, come on. And I get it. They're trying to be epic, and you're trying to tell a story, but just get on with it. And then immediately, if you're going to write an epic song, why the fuck do you have the honky-tonk piano in it? Like, come on, dude. Take that. Like, if you're going to use synthesizers, I get it. But the little honky-tonk thingy to try to make Civil War peppy, like, come on, dude. So I'm 50-50 on this song, to be honest with you.
Okay. So for me, as a listener, one of the most iconic things is that intro, that quote from Cool Hand Luke that it's the very first thing you hear. So this song, to me, it's popular. It was a hit for a reason. It's an epic song, and we'll get into it because Guns N' Roses tries multiple times on this album to nail down the epic song. They do it perfectly once. The other times, not so much. This one is pretty close. The thing that stands out to me right off the bat is, okay, this is not Appetite for Destruction. The piano is very prominent, which I like. I love the piano in songs, especially in rock music. I think it's a nice addition, depending on how it's played. Slash, other than Ace Frehley, is my two favorite guitar players of all time because I absolutely love their sound. Slash is on fire on this whole fucking album. His riffs, his solos, his fills are just spectacular. I like the chorus. I mean, here's the thing I'll say about this album. I'll just start with the song and it'll kind of carry through. If you don't like Axl's voice, you're going to fucking hate this album because this album is Axl with his screeching, squealing best, and then he gets like he's all over the place on this album. Yes. So if you're not a fan of Axl's voice, good luck with this album. For me, I think this is a standout song. It's not my favorite, but I like it. Just and Slash carries it like he does for most songs from GNR.
Civil War, written by Axl Rose, Slash, and Duff McKagan. It made it to number 4 in mainstream rock. It was released in 1990 because it was originally on a compilation, Nobody's Child, the Romanian Angel something.
I don't know anything about that one.
Yeah, it was on that compilation.
Yeah.
But they released it later on as a single in May of 1993. Mm-hmm. And they actually had one of those extended plays for this. It was an EP called Civil War, which had a few other items on it. So it was that, I forget, the extended had like Garden of Eden and an exclusive interview with Slash, and that was the German version. And the Australian version had Civil War, Don't Dame Me, Back Off Bitch, an exclusive interview with Slash.
Nice.
So yeah, I mean, kind of like those. Oh, that was an EP. Anyway, Sonny mentioned it. Slash wrote this as instrumental, and it has that fucking old guy speech from Cool Hand Luke that you're like, what the fuck is that? Sounds like Katharine Hepburn.
It took me years to believe that was a man.
Yeah.
When I first heard that, everyone's like, that's from Cool Hand Luke. I'm like, what?
Yeah. There's a few different things that pop up in the movie, that pop up in the song, like the Axls whistling that old Civil War song when Johnny comes marching home. Mm-hmm. That's the beginning and the end. The Peruvian guerrilla officer, when they start doing, we create a vacuum and then we fill that vacuum. I feel like I've seen that in movies or TV or some stupid like fucking Pentagon conference or something. That sounds very familiar. And I see, I like that opening haunting, like acoustic with the speech and the whistling going on. Mm-hmm. And you're right, Tom. Axl is in like full form when he starts whispering in that soft voice, and then he gets.
I love it.
It's that fucking like that Adam Sandler parody voice of Sloppy Joe. Like
it's true
that he does so well, and it's just. But I forget which one of you two talked about it. Slash's tone, especially on this song,
incredible.
So awesome. The guitar on it is just that solo. You're like, oh my God. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of when we just saw Jerry Cantrell. That tone he had. Oh my God. And is it me or did everybody in the 90s talk about JFK getting his head blown off? Like that was everywhere in the 90s.
Yeah, that's true. It was
everybody was talking about it. And fucking Billy Joel, the movie, this, like everybody's JFK shit. That was the big thing. And what's with that? Ain't that fresh? What?
I'm always like, wait, did he just say fresh like Run DMC?
Ain't
like,
that
I think
fresh?
what happens,
like the groceries? Like what?
What's up? Go ahead, Sonny.
I'm going to mention it a couple of times during this review. I think what happens is any idea Axl has to come out and be used.
Oh, I agree.
Nothing gets thrown away.
Yep.
But I find his lyrics, like of all the albums we've done, even the fucking Eagles one that I love those lyrics, like I gravitate them. They think there's so many deep thoughts in this. And you're like, I didn't fucking know.
Yeah.
When, especially over the years when you start listening to the ones where he's singing real fast and you start reading like, oh shit, that's fucking pretty. Wow, that's interesting. But anyway, Ain't That Fresh is not one of those. Yeah, Sonny, I'll differ from you. I love that because I like that old country piano sound. I love that it's a piano and not fucking I'll fight hell to hold you keyboards. That shit. Yeah. I love hearing it because I feel like that's real musicianship, not some fucking guy rocking out on a guitar.
They need a guitar on this.
By the way, at the end, how bad does Slash tear it up on the guitar?
Oh, it's incredible. He's friggin' killing it on this album.
Yeah. And then what's old Civil War? But anyway. And then the rain and the thunder. I don't know, thunder bombs going off.
Yep.
It's just 7 minutes and 42 seconds. I put that down too, Sonny.
It's long.
It's a good song. It didn't need to be that long.
No. And it's not even close to being the longest song on the album.
No. Or the other side, if you go to Coma, Jesus. The song is deep. I'm like, it's not Night Train. They're starting to get into like, hey, shit, people are listening to me. Maybe I have something. I ought to say something interesting.
That's not why they're listening to you.
No,
that's
dude.
my problem.
Look, I want to hear Rocket Queen. I don't want to hear what's so civil about war from Axl Rose.
Why? I want to hear both. Why can't it be? Why can't the song be fun and a song be interesting?
So why can't Paul? So what if Paul Stanley wrote Civil War? I'd be like, shut the fuck up and get back to
because exactly Paul Stanley can't pull off Civil War.
Axl can't either.
Oh,
he can vocally, he can, but I don't. When you listen to
his lyrics are very sophisticated in many areas in this album. And I'm just talking about this album.
Just because they're written sophisticated doesn't mean I can.
The lyrics are interesting and deep and thoughtful.
Yeah, but that doesn't make them. When he's singing them, I'm like, dude, you sang "Welcome to the Jungle." Just stick with that. I don't need you to sing like dropping clips of a Peruvian military general and shit. Relax.
My problem isn't.
Go ahead.
Yeah, my problem isn't the talent of the lyric writing. My problem isn't the I guess how great it is, how great he sounds, how great Slash sounds, that is GNR and they're growing and blah. My problem is this isn't what I come to Guns N' Roses for. That's my problem.
No, I hear what you're saying. You're wrong. Because here, look at
I'm wrong about what I come to Guns N' Roses.
No, but I'm just saying like that a band can't get into a different. Look at what we just did when we did Skid Row. We all know you's gone wild.
And that album sucks.
Yeah. I love the first Skid Row album. I don't love the second album.
Just because the album sucks.
It does. I'm sorry, it does.
I'm saying that point. Those.
And we haven't even got to Beat Yourself Blind. Beat Yourself Blind.
Anyway, what I was saying is that's like a rock anthem type song, and then they get into 18 in Life, they'll get into Wasted Years and all that stuff, Wasted Time, excuse me. And then they gravitate. It's not unheard of to them to do something serious.
I understand. I understand.
This isn't Warrant doing fucking Civil War. Like, you know,
I don't go to Warrant for Civil War.
Guns N' Roses lyrics were never considered a joke. They were fucking, although they were about street and you know, sex, drugs, and all that stuff, they were still pretty good. They weren't fucking she's my cherry pie.
No, they were getting no. They were getting the ring, bitch. We'll get to that stupid fucking song soon.
That song is,
but I'm not even.
That song's brilliant.
I'm talking about you don't go to a Greek restaurant to get a hamburger.
I see.
That's just not where you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when did Guns N' Roses become like only they did that? They had one album.
To me, it doesn't matter. To me, they did.
That being said,
I'm talking about me.
That being said,
you find Mr. Brownstone's lyrics to be like fucking childish or stupid? I think that's fucking interesting.
Lyrics. I'm talking about the sound. I'm talking about the.
I thought we were talking about lyrics now.
That's what you keep talking about. I'm talking about overall the song.
Like the piano, the length, the epicness.
I don't need
that's two different discussions.
I don't need.
Yeah, but their stuff is serious stuff. They were never like their music wasn't like just fucking 2.5 minute song.
No, I know it was. It wasn't. It
look
wasn't
at Rocket Queen, how it fucking transitioned. I think they're fucking. Yeah. They had some sophistication to their shit.
But they're talking about their own personal demons there, not about the world's wrongs.
Right.
Yeah, but that's only one song, though. That's one song.
It's not one song. It's all over this shit.
No.
We'll get into it.
We'll find out now because we'll go into the next track that takes about 14 years to go through. Go ahead.
So 14 years, you know, there's talk about whether Izzy's talking about his old girlfriend or Axl. Here's my thought. It is 1,000% Axl. They are both 28 years old. He's talking about 14 years. They met in high school. The whole last set of lyrics are all about Axl. He's got Axl helping him on a song about his shitty relationship with Axl. That is awesome. That is the best part of this song. The rest of it's complete shit. I hate everything about this song except for the guitar solo. I don't think Izzy should be singing leads. I don't think anybody on this album should be singing leads except for Axl. And there's times I can't stand Axl. Right? But I sure the fuck don't want somebody else singing leads. The 60s vibe is okay, and that the honky-tonk piano fucking got louder as we went into the song. Like, come on, dude. Tame that shit down. This song, all it did was piss me off the other day when I heard it again. That's what it did.
Wow. Well, I'm going to have to strongly differ on that because I think this fucking song rips. This is a standout track for me. That you would. This is again track 2. You're now you're like, well, okay, this really is an Appetite for Destruction. You got the little southern pop vibe, the piano, the kind of a bouncy rhythm to it. You got the different vocals. I think it's a killer song. I think it's a really well crafted song. I think this song was popular for a reason. I mean, it's only a little bit over 4 minutes long, so it's a nice break from the epic Civil War. The piano sounds great in it. I mean, if you don't like the piano, then you're not going to like the song, Sonny. So I understand that.
Or the album.
Or the album too. That's true. But yeah, lyrically though, it's funny when you read this lyric, like you said, Sonny, it's like Axl helped write a song where Izzy is shitting all over his friendship with Axl. It's an interesting. I love this song. To me, this is a standout. But it is interesting that you're 2 songs in and you're like, wait a minute, this is potentially a different band here.
14 years, written by Axl Rose and Izzy Stradlin. And this is why Guns N' Roses will never be the same without Izzy in the band.
Agreed.
Who is considered he's got his own cult status within the band.
Yep.
I think Izzy, even more than Slash, even more than Axl, even more than Duff or Adler, is the most authentic person in that band.
I agree.
He is his own person. He don't give a fuck. And he does it his way. I'm with Tom on this. I fucking have always loved this song. I didn't realize it wasn't even Axl a bunch of times listening to this because I thought it was Axl using that Axl voice.
Me too. Me too. I agree.
Like when I first heard It's So Easy, I'm like, oh, who's the other singer?
Yep.
I fucking love this. Sung mostly by Izzy, and it's, Axl jumps in on the chorus part of it. Originally had some different lyrics to it. I guess they switched it up that drum opening and then boom, boom. I'm like, wow. The piano is driving this song. I love it. And when I think of the piano like this, you know what it reminds me of, Tom, throughout this whole album?
Fozzie Bear?
Fozzie Bear. Close.
Fozzie's
very close. Very close. Peter Criss, the piano on Nothing to Lose.
Oh, yeah, how it's kind of driving the beat of the rhythm.
And you can hear it.
Yeah.
I think of it throughout that. That's the kind of piano sound I want in a rock band, not the fucking
Yep.
Anyways, I've got so many lyrics on this that I think are fucking brilliant.
Oh, this is a brilliantly written song, especially when you know what it's about.
I just think it's, the legendary Stevie Nicks made her ex-boyfriend sing a song about what an asshole he is.
Yep.
This is it too. I try to feel the sunshine. You bring the rain.
That is such a great.
I love he's so frustrating. He's bitching. I fucking love it. He's just bitching out about Axl and his fucking prima donna attitude and all that stuff. And yeah, I'm with you, Sonny. It's 14 years. It's 14 years of friendship. But you also forgot the last part of it. These last 4 years of madness, meaning since the fucking 87 to 91, where we began, it sure set me straight, right? Because
the greatest lyric is your stupid girlfriend tell you that I'm to blame.
Tom, that's right here. That's next in my notes.
Dude, there's no nuance to that lyric.
Dude, your stupid girlfriends tell you that I'm to blame. The next line is even worse. They're all used up has-beens out of the game. Dude,
it's amazing.
Axl's probably got a girlfriend going, dude, is he talking about me?
No, he can't be talking about me.
Axl, he's talking about me in that song. And she's like, shut the fuck up, bitch. Do you hear what he said about me?
Pretty much.
And I just think it's fucking bro. It keeps going. I think throughout the song, he keeps almost warning Axl and telling him, I'll have the last word. Hear what I'm saying. And I try to see it your way. I tried, I'm doing it, and I'm going to have the last say. And guess what the last say is? This is it. You're a fucking complete dick. The solo by Slash, again, 2 songs so far. Slash is killing it.
Yep.
Fucking killing it.
Yep.
Then I'll end it with these other lyrics too. I'm past the point of concern. It's time to play. And then that's when he gets in the last 4 years of matches. But then the total killer is just like a hooker. She's had nothing for free.
That's a good one.
So he's probably talking about one of his girlfriends said something about that. Hey, nothing's for free.
Yep.
You fucking money hungry, whatever.
Yep.
I can't tell you how much I fucking love this song. I've always loved this song. I love it for its authenticity. I love it for the background story about it. I love the guitar on it. It just works. And I don't have a problem with Izzy's vocals.
I like it.
They're like those songs that Ace does that you don't notice his voice is terrible, right? When he sings Hard Times and shit, you're like, oh, that's one. Or Rocket Ride. You don't sit there and go, oh, that's fucking terrible. You wait till he sings those other songs. You're like, oh,
Good Times, Bad Times?
No.
It's what the hell are you doing?
In the days of my youth, I was told. Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
But I think they're climbing from Civil War to 14 years. Let's see where they do with the next track.
Yesterdays. So, okay, at least the song started right away. I'll say that much. The song's missing some punch. So here's the note that I wrote. I've heard the song tons of times. Go grab the nearest Webster's dictionary, flip to M, because this is the dictionary definition of meh.
Oh my God almighty.
There's nothing about this song that interests me. I remember the first time I heard this album and the first 3 songs, I'm like, what the fuck? What happened to GNR? I remember thinking that, and I remember thinking, man, I don't really listen to this album much. Why is it? And I quickly remembered why it was. But I kept listening. But yeah, this one's meh to me.
Yeah, I like it. Again, we're 3 songs into the album, and I keep saying the same thing. Yeah, this ain't Appetite. It's very different. I like the groove of it. It's weird. It's like an emotional, like reflective song that they're trying to write. It's got the G&R kind of rocking to it. Again, I'll agree with Sonny a little bit. I mean, he's a little bit more forceful with the meh, but there is something that they need to add something a little bit more to it. This is again Axl's voice at that shrieking vest. It's good. I mean, it was popular for a reason. It's a very easily digestible song. It's short. It's only 3 minutes long. Tailor-made for the radio. Very very pop oriented. Even if you're not a Guns N' Roses fan, you're gonna like the groove of it. But yeah, it's a good sounding song. I think the problem with this album in general is that for 30 years we've been listening to these songs. I mean, it's just I've heard this song a bazillion times, and after a while, it's like, if I want to hear it, I could just close my eyes and sing it in my head. But no, I like it. I like it.
Yesterday is written by Axl Rose, West Arkeen, who Axl had one time called the third guitarist in the band, and he had writing credits on It's So Easy, Bad Obsession, This, The Garden. Guy died at 36 from an overdose in 97.
Yikes.
Del James, who inspired the whole trilogy, November Rain, fucking 3 songs, Don't Cry, and what's the other one there?
Estranged, yep.
Yeah, and then somebody named Billy McLeod. I don't know anything about. It was released as a single. I believe it went to number 72 on Billboard's Hot 100. And I think number 13 on U.S. mainstream. There's some good lyrics in it. Time just fades. The pages in my book of memories. It's a mid-tempo song. It's a lot of piano again. Decent solo. I actually put It's All Right.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of with Sonny on that. I don't know. It just I never got excited for this. And the fact that of all these great songs, this got a video and released as a single. Come on.
I think just because, like I said, it was just 3 minutes long, very easily digestible. It could attract non-hard rockin' G&R fans to be like, oh, that's a nice song. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The ending is reminiscent of the outro of Estranged, if you noticed. I don't know what the hell's going on there. Again, the song could have been shorter because they could have got rid of that. Video. Anybody want to talk about the video?
I think the video is about as mad as the song. It is really, it's a nice performance video with the band.
Yeah. Did you notice that everybody seemed like they were at dress rehearsal, except for Axl looked like he just came from running errands?
Yeah.
Yeah. But then he's trying to do the smoldering eyes as he's saying.
But I tell you what, I'll tell you what I do like. I like even in a mid-tempo song, he's still got the little Axl snake going from the side to side. Yeah. I like that. He's still trying to groove that,
The transition to grunge is happening right before our eyes.
Oh, totally.
Look at that video. Yep. All of a sudden, Axl's got scruff.
Yep.
His hair in a ponytail. He's in jeans.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks kind of soft. And they keep showing photos of Izzy and Steven Adler.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, this isn't Kiss showing on the fucking Do You Love Me montage at the end of the road, Ace and Peter. Right. These guys are in your band about a year ago. Like, yesterday.
They're taking the word literally. Yesterday, you were in our band.
Yeah. And by the way, did they not really try to pull a fucking, fake Ace? Because if I didn't know any better, I'd say that's Izzy.
I agree.
I swear to God, they got Gilby Clark because he looks like Izzy. If I didn't know he fucking left at that time, all the videos, I thought that was Izzy.
Yeah.
Couldn't even tell.
Me too.
Yeah, that fake Ace,
fake Izzy, Fizzy.
Fizzy was in the video. It's like a empty warehouse or a fucking airport hangar or something. I don't know where they're playing.
Yeah, it's just some kind of studio.
You know what I was waiting for? I was waiting for Jack Russell to pull up on his fucking moped, whatever he does, with a hot Bobby Brown, because it looked like that video.
The
Twice Shy video.
Once
bitten, twice.
Jack Russell, right? Bill Maher with long hair.
Yeah.
With his hair flowing and that big schnoz in the middle of his face.
Jack, you are not a handsome man.
Yeah. Axl's shirt says KFK on it. What the fuck was that?
I don't know.
I'm like,
somebody paid him.
Yeah, I'm like, I didn't know what he was saying. I was reading. I'm like, is that KFC? What has he got on?
That would have made more sense.
Yeah. If it came out later, it was Don Dawkins.
Oh, Jesus.
Or Mike Reno from Loverboy. Like, or better yet, Fat Vince is out of breath. Imagine if there's a older video of Vince Neil wearing a KFC shirt.
Find it. We can make it happen.
Anyways, that's yesterday's. And we still got about 30 more songs to go. Let's get to the next one.
Knocking on Heaven's Door. You know, like I said, I'm 22 when this album comes out, so I got no idea it's a cover. I don't know who the hell Bob Dylan is. There's no 22-year-old on the planet right now that knows who Bob Dylan is. We'd had this song for a while because it was on the Days of Thunder soundtrack. I love that dual layered vocal he's doing in the first verse. It's kind of looking forward to it on the second verse, but it wasn't really there, but you got the moans instead. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to tell, is that Axl moaning? I think it is, but it could be one of the gospel singers too, so I'm not too sure. The chorus is boring, but Axl does the best that he can, singing it 755 different ways, right? Like, it's just a one line, but he's doing it. Yeah. He's doing it so many different ways that at least it makes it sound interesting. The two solos that Slash does, dude, I could hum those for the rest of my life. Very, very memorable. The gospel chorus thing was a great idea. Here's where I thought the honky tonk piano actually works, right? It's a peppy song. It's got a little gospel to it, et cetera, et cetera. The phone call thing didn't need to be there. And I get it. You can't use the call back answer thingy you were doing live on the video. But the phone call thing's completely stupid. Like, just leave it out of there.
It was like that.
I think it's a good song.
That Rat song.
Hello?
Hello? Yeah, got me on the line. Hello?
Yeah. Phone calls in a song just don't work. Don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it. I agree. Yeah, I don't have anything good to say about this song because I've hated every version of Knockin' on Heaven's Door, regardless of who sings it. I think it's a bad song. I get the impact of it when Bob Dylan wrote it, and I understand how people think it's like iconic and everything. I don't like the song, so nobody who does it is going to appeal to me. Two things save this. Slash is out of his mind on this, thank God. And like Sonny said, there's a couple of songs on this album, and this one in particular, where you got that layered vocal, which you can really, really, really hear that when you have like your earbuds in. A lot of that stuff pops. Yeah, and another thing too. We talked about this on other ARC albums. Track listing matters to me a lot. You're on the fourth song of the album right now. There's not a whiff of Appetite for Destruction type shit on this album right now, which I guess that's fine. But give me something that you can kind of really just go balls out on, because there's nothing so far. That was a complaint of mine with this being the fourth track on the album, not to mention that the song itself is just not good. But yeah.
All right. Knockin' on Heaven's Door, written by Bob Dylan. It made it to number 18 on the mainstream rock charts in 1990. It has the band group of female singers, The Waters, as the backing vocals. They started playing this back in 87. So it's been around. And they recorded a studio version for the Days of Thunder soundtrack. That's why when this...
Thank God I never saw that movie.
Yeah. That's why when this...
Dude.
I don't know. But that's why when this came out, we were all familiar. Like, oh, I know that song.
Yeah.
There was another reason why I think this sold, because people recognized it. I thought that song was in Lethal Weapon 2, Knockin' on Heaven's Door. Wasn't it? When he was like dead and he was going to die. They thought he was going to die. Mel Gibson was going to die. And this played. So that's the first time I think I remember Knockin' on Heaven's Door. It is tedious. It just repeats the fucking chorus. And, you know, Axl makes it very Axl-ish with the, no, you know, that makes it different. But, dude, I get it. You're knocking on Heaven's Door. I've heard that fucking song, that chorus over and over and over again. It's not that interesting to be repeated that many times. It's a decent version. It's probably better than Dylan's. It's just so fatigued. So fatigued. Slash, I just put, of course, is just fucking awesome on this song. And please, and I put the same thing. What's with the fucking phone call in the middle of the song?
Oh my God.
Hello? Like, dude, enough. Anyway. Whoo. Dude, I have something for us. So I'll save it for later, but next song.
Get in the ring. All right, the good. The first 40 seconds where you feel like you're going to get another knocking on heaven's door, I was like, oh, okay. Well, it's kind of a leftover transition piece. Cool with that. We didn't get that. The other good part about it is it starts in the second part of the first verse where Slash and Axl start this like call and answer type thing. So you get a lot of like Slash guitar fills. The bad. Dude, Axl's a fucking professional wrestler now. Like this, come on, dude. What the fuck? Right?
So
like
bad.
the whole letter and challenging everybody's fucking stupid. But I love this story. So Guccione, he went after Guccione because Guccione had Spin. Well, his dad is founder of Penthouse, right?
He gets more pussy than him.
Yeah. So he says he got more pussy than him. Well, Guccione challenged him to a fight.
Yep.
And he backed off. Axl did when he found out that Guccione had 9 years of training, right? So that's about the best part of this song was that funny story. Besides that, this song is fucking stupid. Like there's nothing about this song except for Slash doing some call and answer that it deserves to be on this album. This is just everybody that paid for your album. It's because of Hit Parader and Circus and Kerrang and all this shit. Otherwise, you wouldn't sell any of this shit. Just shut up and move on. Or do it cool like Prince did it, not like this.
This is the best when we used hard analytical thinking to tell that a song is stupid. Crap. No, but when we use the word stupid to describe a song, it's my favorite way. It's just stupid. Anyway.
Yeah, because it is. But not only is it stupid, this is when you start to unravel this album as this is the most like schizophrenic Axl project he's ever done. It's like, okay, now we're getting batshit crazy Axl right now. He doesn't care if this song, and he knows he's fucking, I'll give him this, he's brilliant because he knows that this song, it's not a good song. It's actually a quite terrible song, but he knows that his little rant in the middle is going to be like, oh, did you hear what he said? Oh my God, that's crazy. But I got news for you, Axl. When a little white guy says the word motherfucker with the ER at the end,
not like we would say it.
You sound like a little twerp. You have to say motherfucker. That's how you say the word. You know what? You want to antagonize me, motherfucker? Go ahead. It's like, okay, let me undo my cardigan sweater, motherfucker. Like, really, dude, just terrible. And the song itself is just not good, but it's iconic because of his little friggin' rant.
Get in the Ring, written by Axl Rose, Slash, and Duff McKagan. Andy Setcher from Hit Parader, Mick Wall at Kerrang, Bob Guccione Jr. from Spin, and he also mentioned Circus Magazine. Originally called by, it was, I guess Duff had wrote the song originally, Why Do You Look at Me When You Hate Me? And then Axl came in with the rest.
The first lyric of the song,
yeah. Slash's guitar is so awesome, but I think it comes off because this is a Duff song. It gives you that punk fucking type of music.
Absolutely, yes.
And this vibe. And that's where the Duff influence comes in.
Yep.
Can you hear the double vocals? I think that's Duff backing up Axl in the song.
It might be. I think it might be right.
There's somebody singing underneath. Yeah, and I think that's Duff. And so they also put the line in, I know you'd never cut it in my game, which is what all musicians say about critics.
Right.
Like, oh, you can't do what I'm doing, so you have to sit back and be a critic. I just love that. That goes for all you punks in the press. The Jerky Boys. You got it, punk.
Or it's like friggin' Reggie Dunlop. He's chief punk on that team.
Yeah. He's captain and chief punk on that Syracuse team. Dude, 850 pounds for 6 people is 141 pounds.
Yeah.
Dude, you're not kicking anybody's ass.
It's
at
just
141 pounds.
It's crazy Axl. Oh, see, but the thing is though, you might give him credit because you've seen like those, like, you ever see like a girl fight, like in high school, you get like the skinny, like sometimes the crazy, he might be like a crazy fighter, even though he's a skinny little twit. You know what I mean? Just
dirty,
just swinging his arms all over the place, just kicking your nuts, grabbing your hair. Like, you know what I mean? That's him.
At the end, when they start saying this song is dedicated.
Oh, yeah.
Is that Slash or is that somebody's fucked up?
No, that's Slash. I think that's. I thought that was Slash. Maybe it was Ace. Yeah, maybe it was Ace.
This song is dedicated to all the fucking fake Ace fans out there.
Maybe that was it.
Ace, you're the real Ace. Oh, fuck. Whatever.
Motherfucker.
Well, I've got for the ending, I've got a little addition to the lyrics here that I alternated a little bit here.
Okay, perfect. I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah. But I just see, you guys don't like the song. I love the song. When it comes on, I look forward. When it comes up on shuffle, that, you know, because it's so silly and stupid.
It's stupid. There you go.
That goes for all you punks. Yeah, fucking Andy Century Hit Parader. Yeah, fuck you, Nick Wall from Kerrang. That's awesome.
I read that book that Mick Wall wrote about.
Mick Wall's famous, yeah.
Mick Wall's a friggin' brilliant rock writer, and I read his book about Guns N' Roses. I think it was The Most Dangerous Band or whatever.
Yeah.
And Axl was like pissed that like Mick Wall wrote the shit. Be like, dude, don't be pissed because Mick Wall reports on what goes on in your band. He wasn't making up shit, even though you probably think he was because he's a writer.
But you do got to give them credit because that's how people got into bands.
Yeah.
So the only source, it's not the internet, is to buy those rock magazines.
That's it.
And you just shit on all of them.
Yep.
That's a little ballsy. But, well, the lyrics don't get tamer on this next track. So let's go again.
Shotgun Blues. All right. The good. There is none.
That was just, thank you for the silence.
There is none. The song to me comes off more punk than blues. I get it. Duff's in the band. But if this was the first GNR song I ever heard, I'd never listen again. I forgot this song existed. The lyrics just feel like they're left over from Get in the Ring because, you know, fucking Rose doesn't throw anything away. He's got to have everything. Because even my favorite song on here has got fucking thing in the middle that it's all the lyrics he had left over that didn't fit in the song. This song is not good. You didn't need 14 songs here at all.
Yeah, this is the 6th song in the album. I'm gonna keep ranting about my track list obsession. This is the 6th song in the album, and you're still like, this album's all right. But this song fucking blows. This is terrible. As at least Get in the Ring was like entertaining. Other than Axl saying you can suck my ass. There's nothing entertaining about this song. It's the lyrical style, the song. It's like, it's too much. It's too much. This slow down, take a break for a minute, for God's sakes. You just had Get in the Ring. You don't need to throw Shotgun Blues after it. Not good.
Shotgun Blues written by Axl Rose. We didn't talk about this, but they kind of balanced their songs off.
Yeah.
With, here's an Izzy song in number 2. Here's an Izzy song in number 2. Oh, here's a cover song. Here's a cover song. Oh, here's a fucking Don't Cry version. Oh, here's a Don't Cry version. Oh, here's November Rain. Here's Estranged. Shotgun Blues should have been on the other album.
Yes.
And especially not 2 in a row like this.
Yeah.
However, you're both misguided.
You like it.
I love it. I like it. I love it. I love this fuck off song. I love it when they have this attitude. You get what you pay for, and freedom's a real high price. And while you're ripping off the children, somebody's fucking your wife.
That's a great line. I'll give him that. That's a good line.
Dude, that is such a fucking. I'll stick it right in your face, and then I'll put you in your motherfucking place.
Okay, relax, Axl. You will not.
And you can suck my ass. And I think it's so low class. Dude, you just told somebody to suck your ass. You're talking about low class. The solo, again, Slash rips on it. but I love it. I love it when he gets into the ending part when he gets shotgun blues, shotgun, and he's got these machine gun type quick lines that he throws out.
Yeah,
shotgun blues, shotgun blues. Listen, motherfucker, you're about to pay your dues. I love that shit. I just think this is a good version of their punk and fuck you attitude with everything. And then I don't know what he says at the end again. You think anyone with an IQ over 15 would believe your shit? Fuckhead.
Nothing but a fucking pussy.
I know that. Nothing but a fucking pussy.
I'm telling you, you're watching the unraveling of Axl.
That song, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of GM McGrath coming into the Slapshot locker room at the end of the fucking championship game.
Yeah,
fucking bunch of pussies. That's what it is. Nothing but a fucking pussy. Dude, come on. I fucking love this shit. They're all my God. All right. Let's get into epic time again.
Breakdown. So the whistling returns, which is cool. I like that the pace kind of picks up later in the song, like the pre-chorus, and the guitar solo's outstanding. That guitar riff, it's kind of, because in breakdown it's kind of hard to figure out like what exactly the chorus is, but the guitar riff, like I will say it that it's in the chorus. It's about 220 if you go back and listen to it. The other day, for some reason, I'm like humming hand jive. And I don't know why. And when I listened to the song again last night, I'm like, it's because this goddamn song. Like at 220, it feels like hand jive a little bit with the guitar. So I was like, oh, that's why I'm humming that.
From Grease?
Yeah. Yeah. Forward to 220 and listen to it. You'll see what I'm talking about. I love the story that Matt Sorum was basically about to start crying because he couldn't get the drum parts right.
Oh, I know. I can't do it.
Yeah. And I think it's interesting that, we had Cool Hand Luke, which is 1967. We had Billy the Kid, which that's where Knocking on Heaven's Door was 73.
Yep.
You got Vanishing Point in this movie, in this song, which is 71. Mm-hmm. Like these are all movies from when he was a little kid, like elementary school movies.
So Tarantino like shit.
Exactly. Yeah. That's like before Tarantino, like those iconic like movies that are like exactly. Movies. Right. That's the word I was looking for. Yes.
So overall, the song's okay. There's two things I don't like about it. One, fucking, does it have to be 7 minutes? Right. And the second, dude, shut the fuck up when Slash is playing. Just shut up. Don't say anything.
Yeah.
Don't do anything.
When Vanishing Point speech comes on.
Yeah. I just don't want
the
him
outro.
to do anything.
Yeah. Agreed.
When Slash is playing, just shut up.
Yep.
Turn his mic off.
Agreed. Yep. Yeah, breakdown. The intro. The intro always caught my attention. It's like you're at like a saloon. It's like the doors swinging open and you're walking in. Looking for the bartender or something. I love epic songs. I love songs that have tempo changes and that are all kind of all over the place. Like Sonny said, what's the chorus other than him saying like breakdown? Like there's really no chorus. It's an interesting song. I think songs like this is like one of the reasons why I like a band like Rush, because it's like the song is just all over the place. It's like 2 or 3 songs and that's why I think Injustice for All might be my favorite Metallica album, because those songs are just all over the place. It's like it's here and then you get 2 minutes of this type of song, and then it flips and you get a minute and 30 of this. Like it's not a perfect epic. We'll get to that eventually on this album, but to me this is a good song. It's really weird and creative for Guns N' Roses after you just heard Get in the Ring and Shotgun Blues. But I like this song. It's an interesting listen. There's a lot going on. Of course, we keep saying it, Slash just insane.
Breakdown written by Axl Rose. I will say before I get started, this was always my fucking song that I'm like, nobody knows, nobody listens to. This is my favorite fucking deep track on Guns N' Roses Use Your Illusion. I love how it builds. I love the build. Actually, this is the first time I started noticing the drums on it. It's actually great. The driving piano. And I've got to say, Slash's solo on this, maybe my favorite solo since Sweet Child of Mine on his that he's ever done. That one solo where he rips and then all of a sudden he holds that note and then goes right back into it. I'll get to the outro afterwards, but another slow builder, the whistling. And I'm like, anytime this whistling, I usually think this isn't going to be good. but it actually works. It's the guitar fills on the piano and the opening and the drums building, and I fucking love it when it kicks in. And then all of a sudden, just like children hide in the closet, and then boom, 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 and Axl's voice goes off again. You were talking, Sonny, about the Slash said that it was so fucking complicated between the banjo, piano, and the fucking drums that fucking Matt Sorum lost it. They said, but there's so many epic lines in this, and you wouldn't know it because the song's just moving and there's all sorts of shit going on. I can't fucking tell you how much I love the lyrics on this song. Sometimes we're off the beaten track. You're getting taken for a ride. Everybody, darling, sometimes bites the hand that feeds. Remember in this game we call life, no one said it's fair. And then that I was waiting for you, really, Tom, to get on this. I thought you were going to do it, that you were going to say, I fucking hate the, let me hear you now.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the
Joycey.
Most definitely.
Let me hear you now.
Let me hear you now.
It is amazing when you see what Axl's voice can do. I mean, it goes from way low to insanely squeal.
Oh, I thought it was say, go to him. And then obviously the solo I just talked about is just fucking incredible. And then it breaks down again, and then the Matt comes in with the drums, and it picks up again. And now the dam is done, and we're back out on the run. Yep. Oh, I just find this shit. The way he builds it up is so. Then the outro solo. Holy shit, is
incredible.
Slash is ripping. It's fucking great. And he also snuck in a little Guns N' Roses little lyrical play when he says, funny how everything was roses when we held on to the guns.
That was pretty cool. Yes.
And that's Cleavon Little, the guy from Blazing Saddles. He does the speech in Vanishing Point. Okay. And it's literally word for word. Axl's just reading off the stuff that he does. And he just I don't know where he came up with it. Like, hey, let me read this obscure 70s movie over this solo. At some point, Slash like, dude, probably, come on, man. What the fuck?
What are you doing?
Do it afterwards or do it in the middle of the song. Why are you doing this over my solo? But I love this song. Love it. Let's get to the next one.
Pretty tied up, the perils of rock and roll decadence. So Izzy says, his friend Tony took him to meet this woman at her house. She gave him some tequila or something. First of all, Izzy, you might want to kind of know what you're drinking.
Figure that out.
Drinking it, but whatever. Go to the bedroom. We walk in behind her. There's a big fat naked guy with an onion in his mouth. He's wearing women's underwear and high heels and tied up with duct tape against the wall. Okay, so since we know Izzy is listening, that's not called an onion. That's called a ball gag.
Unless he had an onion in his mouth.
Dude, I think it's the punishment to put an onion. Imagine sucking on an onion in your mouth. Oh,
that's right. I love that sitar at the beginning. The main guitar riff, I love that it's simple and straightforward. I actually like the chorus here. It only took 8 songs, okay? But I actually like the chorus here. And it's another great solo and another great outro solo. If Axl would shut the fuck up. Like, why are you still singing? You have 10-minute songs on this goddamn thing. You can say whatever you want to say. Why do you got to do it while Slash is playing? All that being said, this is definitely one of the better songs on the record for me.
Yeah, it took 8 songs for you to get to, to me, that classic GNR sound. The thing that sticks out for me is the groove that the drums are carrying here. Matt Sorum is riding this song, and it just, I've always loved everything about this groove. Slash's riff, the way Axl is singing, the bridge, obviously the chorus is awesome. I love how the piano gets thrown into the chorus. And the little intro sitar thing is great. It says, according to Slash, Izzy Stradlin was so high on heroin that he made a sitar out of a cymbal, a broomstick, and some strings. So they use that at the beginning of the track as a little nod to Izzy, which I think is friggin' hilarious. But yeah, pretty tied up for me. Clearly a standout, quote unquote, old school type of GNR Appetite song on this album. Great one.
Pretty tied up. subtitled The Perils of Rock and Roll Decadence, which they say in the beginning, written by only Izzy Stradlin.
Mm-hmm.
Funny how we kind of gravitate to that, huh?
Yep. Interesting.
It made it to number 35 on U.S. mainstream. Told the story about the dominatrix. We told the story about the sitar, right? I like the riff. I think the groove is pretty sweet on this. And there's that part on the spoken lyrics off the every almost verse. I'm serious, but check it out. Cool Ranch dressing. I guess that was a mispronouncement of something else, so they just left it, and it sounds like Cool Ranch dressing.
Okay.
Another Slash solo that's fucking great, and the outro is incredible as well. There's something about Izzy songs that are just so authentic. They're like street, grimy, sleazy shit. Like, it's just
because I don't think he's trying to be anything, or I don't think I think he's just a friggin' rock. He's a sleazy rock star, and I mean that in the best sense of the word. He's not trying to be like, "Ooh, Axl, let's do this." He's like, "Let's fucking write a ripping friggin' sleaze rock song."
Yeah, and I think that's why. I mean, I just find this shit incredible. I love this song. Always have loved the song. It's catchy as all hell. Now, get ready for the choo-choo.
Locomotive Complicity. All right, so love the thumping bass. I like the music. And I think, you guys have said it sometime, at least once or twice here before. You hear people say, 8.5 minute song, and some people will say that 8.5 minutes flew by. Like, I didn't even notice it was 8.5 minutes. I felt every agonizing second of the 530 seconds. Dude, this song, melody, lyrics, complete shit. This is where I cannot handle Axl's vocal styling. He's always on the edge for me. Here, he went to a place where I'm like, I can't listen to that. I would have taken instrumental 100% here. Do not like this song at all. And I can't even label this as the worst song on the CD.
Oh boy.
I like how you said CD though.
That's true.
Yeah.
Because you don't think of this. Yeah, but you don't think of it as anything else other than CD, because that's when CDs specifically. Yeah. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tom.
No, it's okay. Yeah, this is I kind of feel the way about this as I do with Breakdown, but I like this one a little bit more. It's another epic song that's fucking all over the place. A lot of it is awesome. Some of it is terrible. The main riff that Slash has is friggin' awesome. Some of I said this before during Shotgun Blues, some of what Axl's doing vocally in the flow is just kind of a mess. This is an example of who is your producer or engineer? Who is your daddy and what does he do? Right. I knew that was coming because I said that perfectly. Like, there's a good song in here somewhere. It's kind of like you gotta sift through like the shit and pull out the good stuff in there. I mean, that being said, I like it just because it is kind of interesting. It's all over the place, but I think if they kind of tweak this a little bit and kind of figured out exactly what they wanted from it, then you'd have like a killer song. But I like it as is. It's a mess, but I like it.
Locomotive Complicity. Axl Rose and Slash. I'm with Tom, but I'm a little bit ahead. I fucking can't not believe how awesome this guitar is. Yeah. It literally is like a train.
Yep.
It fucking rocks. I love it. I don't care that it's, I don't know, 15 verses in this song, because I'm like, every time I'm like, dude, do 2-3 verses and the song could have been over. I don't know. I love it. So I'll take more of the song because I love the guitar on it. It's so epic for me. I don't know what he's doing, but it sounds like a fucking train. You feel like you're like on it and just moving, and he's just constantly driving. Slash is just amazing. Mm-hmm. And I love how Axl's delivery. I just love it. This is where the Use Your Illusion stuff comes in. He says it many times in this. I bought me an illusion. I put it on the wall, let it fill my head with dreams, and I had to have them all. Just his delivery is fan-fucking-tastic. I let you shape me, but I feel as though you rape me. I love that shit. And he can fucking pull it off. And then he's like, ooh, baby's got a locomotive. Ooh, you got a fat ass.
That's what I was just going to say.
Right?
You got a locomotive ass. You got a caboose, baby.
Ooh, you got a fat ass.
All right. That's what I'm thinking. Just Slash is just like, oh my God. But again, there's like fucking, I don't know, 15 verses in this song, and 8:42 is long.
Yeah.
But there's so many words and lyrics in this song. I don't know how the fuck you would remember it all. And the way he's singing it so fast. There's no way you can do this fucking live. We won't even remember all that shit. There's no way you'd remember it now. But there's a YouTube clip of a sound check of Slash doing this. And Jeff Beck is there. And he jumps in playing on it. Remember, I sent it to you and Jericho that time.
Oh, yeah.
Remember we were going over? He's like, where would you find this? I'm like, it's because I try to see if they ever played Locomotive live. And it's just Slash ripping on it. And I think Jeff Beck's like even looking around like, dude, what do I do? How do I jump in here? Like,
right.
It was just like, it was so fucking cool. Then the ending goes off like this little piano guitar outro again. And then love so strange repeating. What the fuck? That's where I'm like, yeah, you could probably eliminate 2 minutes of the song.
Yep.
So I get you on that. So, but I can't sing the praises of Slash's guitar playing any more than Locomotive. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, it's so great. All right, Sonny, let's go to the next one because you so fine. Do-lay.
Oh, jeez.
So fine. So I was thinking, I'm like, Slash, the 2 minutes he was sober a day during this recording, right? Must have been sitting there going, what the fuck are we doing? Some of this stuff, like, I'm putting down all these great guitar solos, and some of these songs are complete shit. We're going to release all these songs? And now we're letting the bass player sing? Why is he even fucking writing songs on this? We've said it before here. Don't let the bass player do shit like this. I get it.
Unless your bass player's name is Gene Simmons, then you can do that.
Or Steve Harris.
Most definitely.
Exactly.
Right?
There you go. Yes.
But I get it. They're trying to do a dedication to their friend Johnny Thunders. I get all that. But I don't like the vocal. I don't like the way it was written. The song's just too Clash, Sex Pistols. Like, Duff, keep this shit for your solo album and just dedicate the album to Johnny Thunders, maybe. But this song did not need to be there.
Yeah, I mean, the novelty of hearing Duff sing, it's like, okay, this is, whatever. But again, I think overall, this is an album that required an editor, if that's even a thing in an album. It's like they just threw everything up against the wall. Oh, Izzy, you want to sing? Okay, cool. Oh, Duff, you want to sing? Okay, cool. Oh, actually, you want to do fucking batshit insane stuff? Okay, cool. Oh, you guys want to make freaking 10-minute songs? Okay, cool. Like, I get it. And if you're a GNR fan, which I am, and I know Zeus is, Sonny is kind of on the fence with his GNR fandom, but it's okay. I mean, it's one of those things where I'll take a line out of what Zeus usually says. I guess I'd rather have it than not because it is unique. It's you're never going to hear Duff again. You hear it once or twice, then you have the ability to never listen to it again if you want to skip it. But it's not. First of all, Duff is singing a song about Johnny Thunders. Fucking relax with the friggin' your personal, just enough. There's no need, but it's there. Listen to it if you want, I guess. I don't know.
So Fine, written by Duff McKagan. Here's the fucking punk shit. And there's a guy named Howard Tiemann that plays the piano. So no fucking Dizzy on this. Duff is singing, but it's Axl at the beginning of the one. There's a lot of
ooh. And then there's like a little bit of a Hannibal Lecter. A little Hannibal. He's like little Hannibal Lecter. He's like,
ooh, you fat ass over here. You already mentioned the tribute and a lot of the oohs and ahs. I don't think Duff's voice is pretty bad. I used to fucking hate this song. Listening back to it, I'd be like, oh, I fucking hate the song. Actually, it grew on me. I don't mind it. I like it. Actually, I like when Duff picks up and starts getting into it. Nice little, it's a little more bluesy guitar solo there from Slash, but I think it's pretty good. It's all right. Again, Tom, you kind of took the words right out of my mouth about I'd rather hear, Duff can actually sing a song. Okay, I'll hear it.
Right.
This dude, they put 30 songs together. Of course they could have trimmed this down.
Right.
I'll take it, just like we will take every song on Hot in the Shade.
That's always our reference point for long albums.
Because I would say to everybody, get Betrayed and Prisoner of Love and Boomerang the fuck out of here.
No.
And then people are like, what are you talking about? Get those Paul Stanley extra tracks out of there. I'm like,
I like Prisoner of Love and Betrayed.
They're fucking terrible. So that's what I would get rid of. So, and then that's why it's there for somebody. I don't know. I don't mind it. So, you ready for this one? We may have to do this episode on another day to get through this one.
Estranged. Okay. I like the main guitar lick, and supposedly the song's being bummed out after a time in his life when his marriage with Aaron was annulled. I'll tell you what bummed me out, this fucking song. 9 minutes. Does Axl realize that stupid rockers want 3 to 4 minutes? That's just all there is to it. At this point in the album, I'm just like, get this shit over with. Like, Slash tries to save this song many times. There is no saving this song. I get it. GNR fans fucking love this song. This is not November Rain. It's not even close to May Rain. It's not any kind of rain. It's just complete shit. I do not like this song at all.
Good Lord. So, first of all, this is, I will tell you right now, light years better than November Rain. Put it on record.
Oh, write
that down. Write that down. This right here, this is how you nail an epic song. Ugh. This is how you do Outlaw Torn, Metallica, Like Suicide, Soundgarden. This is how you do it. I love the beginning of it. You know, talking to yourself. And then he's like, hello. One of the greatest Slash riffs ever.
Do you know what that sounds like? That sounds like the ones that I tell you, like someone left an SPD and they went alone.
But I'll tell you right now, in my opinion, one of the greatest Slash riffs ever. The piano fits perfectly. This song is, if you don't like long songs, obviously you're not going to like this song, because a song. I went for a run the other day listening to this.
I'm still running.
I went for a run. I put this album on shuffle. I think I got through 2 songs.
Yeah, I can imagine, right?
I mean, it's long. Does it need to be 9 minutes and 23 seconds long? No, nothing needs to be that long. I love it. I mean, that riff, and I don't know, there's so much going on. You could do a whole episode on just this song, including the video. We'll talk about the video, but the Slash's riff is just fucking otherworldly in this. I love it.
Estranged, written by just Axl Rose. It made it to number 16 on the mainstream rock chart. I had the same thing, Tom. I wrote about Slash's, when Slash's guitar comes in.
Oh my God. Incredible.
That is awesome. Then the drums come in. 3, 2, boom, boom. Oh my God. It builds up. It's fucking great. And then I like the part, because I put it on my headphones, that Axl, you can hear it on one side. And
yes.
He's got the fucking microphone voice. Like, when you took everything. And you know everything. I don't know what the fuck he's doing there, but I love it. His voice is all over the place. From when you're talking to yourself.
And then he's like, and then he starts doing like a Bee Gees, like, I don't know how it's supposed to pay.
It's gonna be whatever happened to us, baby. Like, yeah, that shit. And then he just fucking is. Yeah, somebody needs to get him off. I don't know whether he's doing too much cocaine, heroin. I don't know what he's doing, but this is just long. It is long.
You know what's funny? And I was talking about the length of the song. So the other day I went out to run a few errands, and I got in the car and I put the song on. The distance between where I was and my ride home was this entire song. It was I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, If somebody says, "Hey, how long does it take you to get from your house to there?" I'll be like, "I just put on Estranged. You'll be there before you know it." It's that length.
Yeah, me too. Cincinnati to San Francisco. Yeah.
It's an Estranged length to get to his house.
Is it locomotive length or is it a string? Well, if you mix in breakdown with, start using this album as a time reference.
Yeah, exactly. Slash's guitar at some point, it's like wailing. It's like dolphins or whales wailing in the background. And then again, there's so many breakdowns. And he'll say alone again. And then Slash's. Holy fuck.
Yeah,
it could have been, honestly, a musical score, like a classical music piece, and without lyrics. And this could have been, this could be brilliant. If somebody be like, "Who's that fucking composer?" "Oh, that's Franz Handel or fucking whatever, Schubert's new masterpiece." By
that's a good point, though. You bring up a good point, and that's, I mean, most geniuses or artists are kind of crazy. If you look at like history, like Axl is clearly insane.
Yes.
Okay. But when you look at his ability to write it, even if you don't like Estranged or November Rain, like those are unbelievable compositions for songs in terms of lyrics and music and what he's putting together. I mean, you might not like them, but you can't deny that there's something there from a creative standpoint. And it just shows you that the guy is he's talented, but he's just mental.
Yeah. Like Hitler was a painter.
Well, I didn't compare him to Hitler, but I understand what you're saying. Okay, a little different, but
like Mercury,
yeah.
And I'm with you. I totally get. Don't take my I don't like the song for that. It's not talent, right?
No, I got you. Yeah,
there's tons of talent here, right?
Yeah.
But this is me. I'm sure Wolfgang Puck makes potatoes, but this fat guy wants hash browns at fucking Waffle House. You know what I mean? That's what I come to Guns N' Roses for, not this.
I hear you. I know. I understand what you're saying.
And that's why it just turns me off. I just wish it wasn't the Guns N' Roses I wanted. And Zeus said it before, Brownstone. I basically wanted Brownstone over and over and over and over. Right? I'm that guy.
Yep.
And there's guys like me around. That's just how it is.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I got you.
See, the one I'm going to jump back for a second because you guys you keep saying this, like, I want that appetite. I want that, this isn't it. I'm 3 songs in. I don't hear it. You did hear it. If you bought Use Your Illusion 1 right off the bat, it's Appetite, right next door to hell.
I understand.
Yeah, but we didn't review that.
I understand, but they released them both the same day. So if you go, okay, let me start with album 1 and then I'll get to album 2.
I understand. You're right.
See that. I think they could have changed these around a little bit so that you would feel that way too about this album a little, maybe.
They should have done a better job of mixing up the tracks between Use Your Illusion 1 and 2.
Yeah.
But maybe they didn't want them. Maybe they wanted these albums to be the way they were. Obviously they did because they made them that way. But I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So anyway, let's get to the video. So it's part 3 of Del James trilogy, Don't Cry, November Rain. Mm-hmm. The budget was $4 million.
That is insane for
Axl directed it. Hence why it went to $4 million fucking dollars. They had to do 2 different videos because Stephanie Seymour and him broke up. So they had to change the whole storyline, and she's not in the video now anymore.
Yep.
And it just starts. It starts with the definition of illusion pops up on the screen, and police breaking into Axl's house, and then clips of a GNR concert. And I'm like, yeah, nice Charles Manson shirt, Axl. Fucking
yeah, I know. Odd choice there, buddy.
Yeah. And just some of them are bad special effects when he's like lying down and then his body gets up while his body's still lying down.
Oh no, the bad special effects were the parts when they're in the ocean.
And Slash is rising
they
up.
made Jurassic Park in 91.
Like rising up,
whatever
playing
came out.
I don't know if Slash is supposed to be God or Jesus or something, but he's in the water standing up or something. That looked awful.
And let me tell you right now, if I'm drowning, I don't want to see fucking Izzy straddling in a fucking rowboat trying to save me or whatever the hell was happening.
It isn't. It's fake. It's Fizzy.
Oh, it's Fizzy.
Fizzy's coming to get him.
Gilby.
Fake Izzy.
Axl's like, ah.
So he's walking around, and then they're all wearing white, and then all of a sudden he's walking out with like Bubba Smith Who the hell was that fucking huge guy? Looked like Bubba
Police
Smith.
Academy?
Yeah, the football player, yeah. And then they come around, then he's walking around. Axl looks like he's contemplating shit, walking the streets, and then he ends up at the Rainbow.
Yeah.
And then there's something that, I don't know, is Slash like on those wheels things on his feet? Like he's like sliding.
Heelys?
Yeah. It looks like he's sliding while he's playing guitar in the line at the Rainbow.
I did see that. I'm like, what is happening? It's like he just like zooms across the screen.
That's the stupidest special effect. I'm like, why is Slash gliding? He's on a hovercraft. He's like, whoa.
It's like a weird cartoon effect. Like you see Axl, the Slash just goes, wee.
There's a lot going on in the video.
There is. The video is a short film, for Christ's sake.
That's why it's $4 million. It's going to take us $1 million. I want the idea of Slash on fucking, or we can put wheels on his sneakers. Hey, that's a good idea.
He's too fucked up to be on wheelies or whatever they're called.
He ends up on a fucking tanker.
Yeah, it's so weird.
And he jumps. Yeah, we can tell that's not you, Axl.
Yeah.
Imagine he's like, hey, Axl wants to do the stunt himself. Oh, shit, he died. Those Guns N' Roses in their prime. And he fucking jumps in. I don't know why. And then you're right, Fizzy and the rest of them are on a helicopter and a rowboat. No, I think he picks himself up. Axl's the one rowing a boat for a little bit.
Oh, yeah, he like saves himself.
Yeah, or something like that.
Yeah.
And then they're fucking in a helicopter, Fizzy and them. And then his Axl sneaker with Axl on it, is about as valuable as real Jordans, falls to the bottom of the ocean. And then Axl's like swimming with dolphins. Beep, beep. I don't know. And a couple times they had the definition of Estranged came on, just like in the beginning, where the definition of illusion came on. And then they had the definition of disillusion comes on at the end. And then Axl smiles with a dolphin.
Yep.
And said, I love your illusions. Axl 93. Oh, what about the rest of the band? Just Axl?
He's so weird.
So I was going to say that. So not that he was so weird, because he is weird, but it is 93.
Yep.
It's their fifth single, right? The two things I noticed besides all the shit and Fizzy.
Fizzy.
This Axl, there's a lot of Axl in the video. So now Axl is absolutely taking over. And the top hat shows up. So even in the pictures that you see, he's got the Sambora hat on. He doesn't have the leather top hat on yet, right?
Right.
Not consistently. But in this video, you start seeing it a little more consistently. So my question or my comment, I thought was, I'm like, is this where like Axl's taking over and Slash has got his own persona? Is this where it starts? Because this is 93.
Good question. Good question. Yeah. Perhaps.
Maybe.
Perhaps.
Yeah. I just looked at this as like, this would be a perfect Webster's dictionary of an overinflated ego rock star.
By far.
Just bloated, fucking way over the top shit.
Absolutely. Yep.
Right? Yep. Someone just like, oh, I can't fucking stop. I need to get this thing done right. Like, dude, just fucking wrap it up. So anyway, that's Estranged. Got a couple more.
You Could Be Mine. All right. So this is the first video you kind of see. Most of us, this is the first single we heard, if you hadn't heard Knockin' on Heaven's Door already. This song is everything I wish the other 13 songs were. Great riff, great pace, great vocal. You get the rock jungle type drum beat. You get perfect volume swells, great chorus. I love the way the song ends. I love the way the video ends. Like, it is all perfect GNR. I love the story that Arnold had the guys over to like negotiate it being in Terminator 2. I love it that they used a line that was in the Appetite album release already, so you know it's an older song. Mm-hmm. What's interesting about this is the song I was talking about. That little rap thing that Axl's doing in the middle, it's basically all the lyrics you couldn't fit in the regular song, feels like.
Yep.
Right? Is another, if you want to do Get in the Ring this way, I'm not so bad with it. I don't know if I needed it, but it doesn't ruin the song for me. Mm-hmm. Now, grab the Webster's Dictionary again. Because this is the first thing that I heard from this album, flip to B, bait and fucking switch. Yep. I thought I was going to get 30 of these. Mm-hmm. I did not know I was going to get the shit that we just heard. If this opens up the album, though, I think this would have been a killer album opener, to be honest with you. But everybody already knew the song, so maybe that's why they didn't do it that way.
The fact that this is the 12th song on the album is beyond me. But I will say this, Sonny, we're on the same page. If this was on Appetite for Destruction, for me, it would be in the running for the best song on Appetite for Destruction. It is by far one of this is what GNR is so awesome at. An unbelievable groove with the drums and Slash just owning this song, a chorus. This is GNR 101. Now, did I want the whole album to be this? No, but I wanted more of this. You had Pretty Tied Up, which kind of touched that nerve, that appetite nerve we keep talking about. But You Could Be Mine. There's a reason this song was a hit, and you still hear it on rock radio today. It's fucking amazing. It's perfect GNR. You throw in the collaboration with Arnold and Terminator, and it just makes it that much more cooler. Obviously we'll get to the video, but the song is amazing. Fucking epic song.
You Could Be Mine, written by Axl Rose and Izzy Stradlin.
There you go again.
The first single, 29, and went to number 29 in U.S. Hot 100, number 2 mainstream rock. The band had dinner with Arnold to negotiate a deal to get this song on Terminator 2, and it's not even on the fucking soundtrack.
Who's this man named Slash? I don't know. I don't understand your name. I see an Axl and an Izzy. Who are these people? A Gilby? What do you call yourself over here? Do you have anybody named Bob or Fred?
Axl, stop shouting. I'm not deaf.
Stop shouting, please. If we're going to do a song for the movie, it can't be 8 or 9 minutes long. Give me 4-minute song, please.
I don't have the patience. You need to stop this shit. It's madness. The lyrics, with your bitch slap rapping and your cocaine tongue, you get nothing done, was on the inner sleeve of Appetite. Remember?
Yeah, that's right.
The song was written by then. So it's another one of those songs that was done, like the next one coming up, prior to Appetite. It was part of the Appetite kind of.
You could totally tell it's got that exact vibe.
Yeah. It was supposedly about Izzy's failed relationship. Again, anything with sleaze and shit like that, and bitch and slap and cocaine and all this stuff, it's easy.
That's what I want from Guns N' Roses. I want bitchin', slapping, and cocaine. All of that.
You got the long intro, the build up. It's a little bit of Enter Sandman. Build up, and then dan. Right?
You're right. That's a great point. When that build up kicks into the main riff of the drum, that's like boom.
Yeah, That's the part. That's why I love about Enter Sandman. That build up, and then dan. And you're like, fuck yeah.
Yep.
Axl, they're just razor sharp, killer fucking vocals. The solo is fucking great. But there's a line in here that it's kind of something that we say on the show sometimes. And I don't know if we have the same interpretation of what this might mean.
Go ahead.
But your flaps are wearing thin. What flaps? Snapper flaps?
I'll put it this way. If this is a Guns N' Roses song, what else is he talking about?
Well, then he would have said meaty, not thin.
Maybe. I don't know.
That poor girl we used to call snapper flaps in high school.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It's been a while since we made that reference.
Snapper flaps.
Oh, my goodness. I love it.
Hi, what's your name? Well, you just call me
Snapper. You just call me Snapper. Snapper flaps. Snapper for short.
Let's get to the video. It's just, montage of Terminator 2. The band is playing. And Arnold is walking through this crowd. Excuse me, get out of my way. I got important business. And he gets up, and they show him the little thing. And then you like how in Terminator 2, they have that scene where Arnold pulls out the shotgun and then the roses fall out.
Yep.
Ooh, symbolic.
Yep.
And then they show cuts of Linda Hamilton was jacked.
Remember she was ripped in that movie.
Remember how she was like a little fucking thing in the 90s?
That's right. Yep.
Oh, she was great. She was in that awful fucking movie with Jim Belushi. Do you remember that movie, Mr. Destiny, or something like that?
Oh, I think it's a good movie.
It was
you just spoiled Sonny's rock hard pick for the week.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Remember, it was like It's a Wonderful Life type thing.
Yeah,
like,
yes.
The guy thinks he's a failure because one game he dropped in Little League, he dropped the ball, and then Michael Caine comes out and changes all of it.
It was a good movie.
He changed that he caught the ball. What would his life be like?
Yeah.
Now that's a thing that I feel like and this is what I say to myself, if I go to heaven, I would want to be able to say I have an unlimited amount of. What if I did this on this day? Okay, show me what happened if I did this. Show me if I went up to this girl and said, "Hey, how you doing?" Or show me what happens if I fucking push this old man down a flight of stairs. Would I get away with it? Like anything.
Show me what would happen if I didn't call that girl Snapper Flaps for 4 years in high school.
It's like, well, she didn't have a drug and alcohol and an abusive relationship. Oh.
Well, let's not sleep on Linda Hamilton's excellent performance on that classic Children of the Corn.
Yes.
Fantastic horror movie for me. Oh, epic. Her and Peter Horton.
Dude, all I know is Children of the Corn are always people that have creepy kids. People are like, look at those fucking Children of the Corn photos.
That's always the reference point for creepy kids.
Yeah. And then I just remember the video going, oh, who the fuck is that drummer? That's a new guy. I don't remember him.
Yeah.
And then the Robert Patrick walk when he's the police officer.
Oh, yeah.
When he's coming out and you're like that. You're like, holy shit, that guy's scary looking. Axl's got his NWA hat on.
Yeah, and he's got those skin tight little booty shorts on. Yeah. What is he doing?
Like the jackets, right? Whether it's the flag jacket or the Coca-Cola jacket, like all those white jacket, so cool.
Oh yeah.
The booty shorts though, every fucking time.
Always.
It's just so stupid looking. And then Arnold runs into him as they're getting out of the studio and he sees Axl and he says, waste of ammo or something.
I want to know who wrote that into the video because I feel like that would be something that would piss off Axl.
No, I think they're saying like he's like fucking crazy.
They're making it fun.
No, I know, but Axl just at this point just seems so sensitive. I can't imagine him being like, haha, that's funny. What do you mean I'm a waste of ammo? Like
I said you a waste of ammo. That's what I mean
exactly. Right.
So this video did the same thing for me that the song did. The song was a bait and switch.
Yeah.
Fucking video was a bait and switch. I thought it was going to be a really good movie. I went to go see the movie. I'm like, this movie is shit.
Whoa. Wait.
Terrible. That movie
How are your takes so bad?
Oh, my God.
Terminator 2 is terrible?
Terminator 2 and Godfather 2. Let me guess. You don't like Jaws either.
I don't like Jaws.
Nope. Oh, my God. Dude, that is like not liking Jaws is like not liking like vanilla ice cream. How? Do you like vanilla ice cream?
Vanilla ice cream's meh. It's bland. It's bland. Put some cinnamon toast crunch on it.
Hey, what's your thoughts on blowjobs?
All right. It depends.
By guys or
it depends on who it is.
Hey, you remember your first blowjob? Yeah. Was he any good?
I'll let you know when we see you at Creatures Fest.
No, I was not impressed by this movie because I remember seeing the movie going, oh, they used all the basically best clips in the video and all the funny stuff's not there.
That's a bad take.
Well, that kid ended up growing up and becoming a fucking movie star in a movie called Detroit Rock City.
There you go.
So I'm sure his career is on a fucking high trajectory.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's go to the next one.
Don't cry. All right. So first thing I was thinking about is supposedly this song's about a woman that Axl and Izzy were both into. You know, that happens to long-term friends, especially if you meet in high school. Dude, there's times where you kind of, you know, I can't even interested in a woman. I don't know if you both fall in love with the same woman, but you get interested in the same woman. I love the build up to the guitar solo. I have always liked the chorus of this song. The alternate lyrics are interesting because I went back and looked at the other lyrics, and the way I read them might not be right, but feels like the original lyrics were "get out," and this one's more "come back. Let's see if we can make it work." Like maybe that's what I think. I like the original "get out" better.
Yeah.
I kind of like I like that only the verses of the song is different and a different recording. That the recording is exactly the same as the other except for the verses. I actually like that better because I didn't want any other part of the song to change.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really like the original, so I like this one too. I just like the other lyrics a little bit better. But, dude, this is a classic GNR song.
Yeah, I love Don't Cry. It's just a showcasing another set of skills that the band has and Axl has, being able to write a ballad like this. That being said, what are you doing putting the same song with different lyrics on a studio release? Throw this on a demo album or a box set or something. Like, don't either. This is annoying. Like, even Kiss doesn't do this. They put shit. They'll put stuff on a box set or a demo or something. You just had Don't Cry on the first. Now, I know the albums were both released at the same time, but to me, that's like cheating the listener. It's like, oh, hey, Don't Cry. What is alternate lyric? Oh, it's a fucking exact same song, but Axl wanted to write it twice. I mean, it's good, but I prefer the original, the original version. But I've always liked this because I like Shannon Hoon, Blind Melon. I love Blind Melon. Shannon Hoon, God rest his soul, another guy lost to heroin. His vocal. What he's doing with those backing vocals with Axl, I think it sounds great. It's a great song. It's a really nice ballad. Yeah.
Don't Cry, alternate lyrics, Axl Rose, Izzy Stradlin, and this one has got Shannon Hoon as a co-lead singer. I wish I had the luxury of being able to hear this song first, because I had the other song in my head. I would say, oh, I prefer the first one. I mean, really, why should I? I mean, there's the same song, just different words.
That's it.
And I don't even know which words are better or worse.
Right.
But I can't. So apparently, so the meter and the melody are slightly different, but only the vocal tracks in the verses. Supposedly, this was written earlier, around 86. Axl says it's the first song written for Guns N' Roses. Apparently, they talked to Sonny, mentioned that they were fighting over some girl. Axl loved her, that Izzy was with her or something like that. The girl told him, don't cry, because he was like, yeah. And then Axl said him and Izzy got into a fight about it a little bit, or Axl then went to his house and threw rocks at Izzy's house and told him, let's get the band back together. Hey, I've got some really depressing lyrics. Great, I've got a depressing guitar thing I can.
I love that.
And then Slash has another nice solo. Slash says Shannon's harmony vocals made the song more soulful. I'll be honest with you, I never really liked the song.
Really?
Yeah. The only good part of this song, I feel, is the end when they both going at it, singing. Don't you cry tonight, baby. And then, don't you? I like that ending. Similar to Patience. The only good part of Patience is that last part of the song. Everything else is so fucking wussy.
Oh, I love Patience.
I just find it boring and wussy. Oh my God, the songs are boring and pussy-ish. And it just. So you say, oh, I don't want to hear him sing about Civil War. I don't want to hear Axl Rose go, don't cry.
Well, it's a love song. I mean, it's a little. It's just it's a personal song.
Personal. Well, I was sitting on the curb crying.
You can act like a man. Corny Godfather. What do I do?
Oh, you can't mention that because Sonny doesn't like the movie.
Oh, screw Sonny.
Anyways, it's just I don't like it, but I like the last part of it. It's a meh for me. I shouldn't say I don't like it. Yeah. Now let's get to the fucking ending masterpiece, please.
Oh, save the best for last.
My World, the industrial Gerardo Rico Suave rap is what I wrote down. Yeah, Suave. Best thing about this song is that it's only 90 seconds. Because it is a complete waste of time. Even the woman moaning couldn't save it. Axl said that it took him 3 hours to record this. Why? Supposedly everybody was on mushrooms at the time. That would explain clearly why it's literally the worst song we have ever reviewed on this podcast.
Yeah, we might have a new cellar dweller.
Shit. Complete shit.
Yeah. When I hear this, the very first thing I thought of was, hello, me. Meet the real me. It's fucking Dave Mustaine. It's Dave Mustaine. It's that song off of Countdown to Extinction or whatever the fucking Sweating Bullets, I think it is. Dude, what is the only excuse? Like you said, he's on mushrooms. It's a total mess. It's just the most narcissistic thing. The band claims that they didn't even know it was going to be freaking recorded and put on the album, which I think is hilarious. Yeah. They were like, wait, what? You put that on the album? Yeah, why not? Put it on the end. Fucking just a total disaster. It's hilarious to listen to. And here's a little fun fact of personal trivia. I never, ever listened to the entire thing until Zeus picked this album for the review. I never got to the end of it, ever. Not
and
once.
He should apologize to you.
In 30 years, I never listened to this entire thing.
My World, written by Axl Rose. I guess a guy named Johan Langley, does the drums, keyboards, and sound effects. I said, what the fuck? Yeah. Remember the top part where I mentioned a bloated rock star's ego?
This is it.
I'm like, there's a lot of moaning, and it sounds a little like, don't matter, just don't bite it.
Ooh, goddamn.
Now lick my balls.
Yeah.
Oh, goddamn, you biting and shit. You want to talk to me? You want to talk to me?
Oh my God.
No, I don't. Not after you did this. This is
bad.
Terrible. I don't know what he's thinking. It ends with, guess what I'm doing now? And you know what I say? You're fucking up a great album is what you're doing now.
Pretty much.
That's what you're doing.
Pretty much.
That's what I'm doing now. Written in 3 hours. Dude, that should have been written in 3 minutes. It is the stupidest thing. We haven't done our things where we rank these songs yet.
Right.
Look out, half. Look out.
Oh, there's a challenger.
Yeah.
It's a challenger for sure. Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, that's Use Your Illusion. 2.
We made it.
Yep. I'll end with a couple quick thoughts of my own.
Go for it.
There are fucking a couple songs that I would say are some of my favorite songs of all time, simply because this band, to me, when they're at their best and complete, it's got Izzy and his songwriting and his sleaze and his rhythm. It's got Axl on the voice. Duff is always quietly doing a good part on the bass. The drums are decent, nothing extraordinary, but Slash and Axl. And I used to not know about Slash and just think Guns N' Roses, the reason I liked that is because of Axl Rose. And then I saw like Slash's band getting all these reviews and praise and stuff. So I said, you know what? Let me go back. So I got Slash's Snake Pit. It's 5 o'clock. I'm like, this is a fucking lost Guns N' Roses album.
It's a great album.
That fucking album, that singer, I'm like, that guy does a pretty decent sleazy Axl, not even copying Axl, but a sleazy I'm like, this shit rocks.
Yep. I'm
like, this is a great Guns N' Roses album. So you can get into Slash albums and be very close to Guns N' Roses. It's not like one of these vanity projects that it's just him doing 15 solos, instrumentals. It's fucking awesome. So Slash to me and Axl are right there as co-MVPs on this because his guitar is just out of this world. But my sentimental favorite is Izzy. And when I think of this album, I think of 14 years, pretty tied up. And I just fucking think that they'll never come to this greatness again unless they get Izzy back with them, helping out on some of the song structures and stuff like that.
Yeah, this, it's funny because like you said it very well that when Guns N' Roses has their shit together and they're all on the same page, they're almost untouchable in terms of hard rock, not metal, but like hard rock with a swagger,
melodic, and you can
with a swagger and a groove. They're at the top of their game. I mean, I like this album. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I pretty much love most, if not everything that Guns N' Roses does. The thing about Guns N' Roses, we talk about like the fatigue factor. I've been listening to Guns N' Roses since I was in the friggin' 8th grade. And it's one of those bands where it's like Zeppelin or Kiss. It's like, I don't want to listen to them right now because I've heard them for so long. But listening to this album from start to finish multiple times and spending time with it that I haven't spent in a long time, I enjoyed going back to just the world of Guns N' Roses. I mean, obviously you heard what we think about some of the songs, and not all of them are great, but just something about listening to Axl, and of course Slash is just a friggin' master. I don't know. It's Guns N' Roses. I mean, I'll never get sick of Guns N' Roses.
Okay, I realize I've been tough on this album, and here's why. My opinion, including Appetite, GNR to me have about 25 good songs. The rest of them,
that's fair,
is meh. Right? Why are they playing the stadiums? Diamond album, LA, being late to shows, inciting riots, drugs, drinking, Axl getting into fighting, Terminator 2, November Rain, pop culture. Axl and Slash weren't together for 23 years. Like, that's why they're playing stadiums.
Yep.
My personal opinion, Guns N' Roses is a solid contender for one of the most overrated bands in rock history.
I've heard a lot of people say that, and I've heard a lot of people say that, and I think because you're right. I think because they look at their catalog, which is the amount of applause and praise and worship they get is not equal to the amount of material they've made.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of a band called Cream?
Yeah.
Same deal.
Yeah.
I am more, just like with Cream, I am more a Clapton fan than I am a Cream fan. Yeah. Same thing here. I am more of a Slash fan than I am a Guns N' Roses fan. I followed Slash's career after he left Guns. And yeah, Eric Dover sounded great on that album, and I thought it was great. And I love him with Miles now. And I'd go see Slash and the Conspirators on a drop of a hat right now. No pun intended. I would not go see Guns N' Roses.
How many times have you seen Guns?
I've seen them 3 times, and all 3 times they were fucking late to the show.
Yeah. So I saw them once. I've seen them twice, both with Zeus. Once was when it was like Axl's Guns N' Roses, when they had Buckethead in the band and they didn't have Slash.
Yeah. And why was he late? And he didn't go on till like 12 o'clock.
Because he was watching the Raiders game.
Monday night football.
Monday Night Football. He wouldn't get on stage until the game ended.
Yeah.
He literally got on stage at like midnight.
Yeah. That Guns and Metallica show, Metallica fucking blew him off stage.
Oh, of course they did.
Metallica killed it.
That was when Metallica was at the fucking king of the world in 91.
In addition to that, he went on a rant. Remember, he was bitching about Izzy at that year. He's like, people complain about Izzy, but he would get fucked up and he wouldn't want to show up at the show for you fans. I'm like, dude, are you trying to pull? Yeah, are you trying to pull like a sympathy card that you care about the fans?
Right.
Fucking 12:30.
And then we saw them at Foxborough with the Not in This Lifetime, the reunion tour with Slash. That show was fucking insane. And their set list was amazing. That was an unbelievable show. They sounded great, looked great, got on stage on time. Like, that was amazing.
Yeah, Guns N' Roses is not even on my top 100 bands list.
Wow. Interesting.
Except for Appetite, I really don't listen to Guns N' Roses because Axl's right on that trigger. I'm not into a bunch of sleaze rock either.
Yeah.
And these guys are just always on that, right on the line.
Yep.
And Appetite was a great blend of what I was listening to, kind of pulling it forward into whatever it's going to become.
Mm-hmm.
By the time they get here, I'm done with the Guns N' Roses. I remember listening to these 2 albums, and I didn't listen to them in full again for probably 30 years.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. A lot of people like that.
So at this point, we go back to the rankings. So usually if it's your album, you go first. I'll start. There's 14 tracks here. I think it's pretty evident what number 14 is going to be, and that's My World.
Sonny?
My World is my number 14.
As is mine.
Number 13 for me, just fucking repeats and repeats. Knocking on Heaven's Door.
Number 13 for me is Shotgun Blues. Just a waste of fucking time.
I got Knocking on Heaven's Door also at number 13.
Wow.
Number 12 for me, Don't Shoot the Messenger, Don't Cry.
It's okay.
Number 12 for me is, if you want to be a wrestler, I guess go get in the ring. I don't know.
I got Shotgun.
If you weigh 140 pounds, you can, Tom.
I got Shotgun Blues at number 12.
Oh, shotgun both of you. Number 11, Yesterdays.
Wow.
Ugh.
My number 11, Locomotive. The train is coming.
Ooh, choo choo. Beep beep. 11. Get in the ring, motherfucker.
You're so right about that. When people like, I think it's just us and our Boston accents. We would never say motherfucker anyway. That's how we say it, motherfucker. Right. We don't think of the R, but you're right. Motherfucker.
It sounds like you're such like a little twerp. What are you doing? Ugh.
Number 10. How could you be so fine? Ooh.
My number 10, Estranged.
Oh, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I present you the worst take in the history of ARC.
I would have made it 15, but those other shit songs, I couldn't do it.
You motherfucker. You motherfucker. Number 10, So Fine. Ooh.
Number 9, Civil War.
My number 9, Yesterdays.
Mine is Don't Cry.
Number 8, Get in the Ring. Get in the ring.
Wow. My number 8, Breakdown.
No.
That's also my number 8.
Oh, they're all going to laugh at you. Number 7, I got the shotgun blues, the shotgun blues.
My number 7, So Fine.
I have Yesterdays at 7.
Oh, this is where Tom gets mad. 6, Estranged.
You guys don't know what you're doing.
My number 6, 14 Years.
No!
I got Civil War at 6.
Number 5, You Could Be Mine.
Oh, my Lord.
My number 5 is Civil War.
I have Locomotive at 5.
Number 4, Pretty Tied Up.
My number 4, Don't Cry. I think that's a great song.
My number 4, 14 Years.
Number 3, Locomotive.
My number 3 is Knock, Knock.
Oh, dude, that is insane that is your third. Oh, dear God.
Oh,
I got Pretty Tied Up at 3.
Number 2, Breakdown.
Wow.
Song fucking killer.
My number 2, Pretty Tied Up.
I got You Could Be Mine at number 2. It was almost number 1, but didn't quite make it.
For me, it's been one of my favorite songs. I go to it. I press play. I try to find it. If I'm doing, I love it. 14 Years. Just fucking love that song.
Good song.
My number 1 is by far the best song on this album is You Could Be Mine.
You spelled and said Estranged wrong. That's the number 1 song on this album. Estranged.
Wow.
It might be, it's in the competition for my favorite GNR song overall. Yep. Wow. Love it.
All right.
What do we get for our averages?
So top 4. Number 4, Estranged. Because it got a 10, 6, and a 1. Number 3, 14 Years. Number 2, Pretty Tied Up. And number 1, You Could Be Mine.
That's a good poll if we remember to do it. Honestly, that's a really good poll because I think people, maybe with the exception of most people, I think that's the common, the consensus of the 4 best songs.
I bet you someone will be like, no, take off 14 Years or Pretty Tied Up and put Knocking on Heaven's Door. And that's the fucking Twitter crowd.
Perhaps. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's our picks. Let's now go to album covers. And compared to the other previous 28 albums we've done. Want to read what we've done?
Yeah. All right. So here we go. We're going to go through them all here. Appetite for Destruction, Slide It In, OU812, Super Unknown, Pyromania, Load, Peace of Mind, Bon Jovi, Blizzard of Oz, Jar of Flies, Winger, Single Soundtrack, Mechanical Resonance, Odyssey, Hailstorm, Detonator, Highway to Hell, Once Bitten, Look What the Cat Dragged In, Hotel California, Back for the Attack, 10, Bad English, Down to Earth, Shout at the Devil, Slave to the Grind, Purple Rain, Heat 2, and Use Your Illusion 2.
All right, I'll go first. My album. So my top 5 is Hotel California, Blizzard of Oz, Appetite for Destruction, Peace of Mind, and Slide It In. This album is going to slide in between Once Bitten at 10 and Purple Rain at 12. I'm putting this at number 11.
Okay.
Sonny.
My top 5, 5-1, Once Bitten, Hotel California, Purple Rain, Slide It In, and Peace of Mind was number 1. For my album cover, I'm going to slide this in between Dawkins' logo, Back for the Attack, and John Waite's pretty gap-toothed smile of Bad English at number 17.
You mean the Lion Tamer's outfit there?
Oh, all right. My top 5. I got Appetite at 5, Peace of Mind at 4, Highway to Hell at 3, Blizzard of Oz at 2, Purple Rain at number 1. This cover might not be great, but for me, it just carries a lot of weight with its imagery. It's iconic, the memory I have of it. I'm throwing in at number 9. I'm putting it behind Pearl Jam 10 and right above Great White Once Bitten.
Okay. All right. So we're going to move over to favorite album. Now, again, I don't do this beforehand. So I'm going to look at my list now and picture where do I put this album.
I do the same thing.
This is difficult.
These rankings are actually getting almost impossible for me because there's so many unbelievable albums.
Yeah. Hotel California is number 1, Blizzard of Oz 2, Pyromania 3, Appetite for Destruction 4, Back for the Attack at number 5, Dawkins. I am putting this album. The problem, the songs that I love, I fucking love. There's a couple meh, and there's just fucking My World kills it. So that being the case, there's nothing meh or bad on 10. I'm moving it right underneath 10 by Pearl Jam. I'm going to put this at number 8.
Okay.
Right under 10 and right above Highway to Hell.
Okay.
So my top 5, 5-1, 5 is at Mechanical Resonance, 4 is Appetite, 3 Slide It In, 2 Hailstorm, 1 Purple Rain. So for me, there's one outstanding song, there's one great song, there's 2.5 that are good, 6.5 I'll never listen to, and 3 that are Vince Neil, Stephen Pearcy, Rush, Nirvana bad.
Oh, God.
This album is straight to the cellar at number 29.
Whoa! Are you kidding me, dude?
Straight to the cellar.
Oh, my God.
That is a shocker right there, folks.
Much rather listen to Jar of Flies or Load versus
oh, my God. I knew you didn't like this album. I cannot believe
Dead
you're
last.
Yikes. That's fucking...
That is insanity. Oh, wow.
How can you be so
really
into Appetite and yet so anti this? Because there's so much... There is still a lot of songs in the stylings, in the guitar, and the vocals that if you love Appetite so much, I don't get it. But that's all right. That's why we do this show.
That's a shocker. I knew you didn't like this album, but wow. I figured just it being Guns would have a little bit of leverage, but I guess not. Woo.
29, Tom.
All right. So my 5 right now, 5-1, Single Soundtrack, Mechanical Resonance, 10, Shout at the Devil, Purple Rain. I mean, I had some issues with some of these songs, but it's Guns N' Roses. I enjoy listening to Guns N' Roses. I enjoy Axl and Slash and all those guys and Duff. And some of these songs might not be great. I might skip a bunch of them, but it's enough for me to rank this at number 11. I have it right below Back for the Attack and right above Once Bitten. Use Your Illusion 2 at number 11 for me. Sonny Pooney. My goodness. Yikes.
All right. So we'll see if any of these songs end up on our top 50 and worst 20. I think a couple will.
Oh, they'll be there.
Yeah.
There'll be some of both, I think, maybe.
Yeah. So let's do what we do next. And that's this. So you make me rock hard. I'll lead us off this month. So this month I'm picking something that I think has been around for a while, but he's got a couple different projects going on at the same time. So I thought I'd choose this. And this month, I'm picking Bill Maher. He just released his HBO comedy special. I don't know. He has a ton of them. And this one's called #Adulting.
Just watched it. It's fucking amazing. Go ahead.
And the premise of it is like laughing a little bit about people today and kids today, like, ooh, I just did the dishes. #Adulting. It's like, you're fucking supposed to do that shit,
Yep.
And that's one of the reasons I've been watching Real Time since the beginning. I fucking love it. People complain sometimes now. A lot of liberals complain that he's moved too far to the right. I don't think he's moved anywhere. I think he's just making fun of the fucking idiots that are way on the left. And I find it fascinating. I think he's hilarious, quick-witted. He'll put people on that I don't agree with, yet I'll watch it. It's the only time that you can hear like people like they used to do Crossfire with John Sununu or fucking Pat Buchanan and who's the little weasel looking guy there?
Well, the McLaughlin group.
But like they used to have people that would debate intellectually Republican and Democratic points. And you can like, I agree with them. I don't want to, but I do.
Yep.
It's the only show that does that. Mm-hmm. And they're free to swear, yell, curse, say stupid shit. And I love how he dumps on Trump. I'm sorry. That's just me. He's fucking hilarious. But he's been really brutal against the left these times lately. He's still funny. And he always says it. Like, he's like, I love fucking, like, comedy should bring people together. We never used to talk about politics like this and hate each other for it. And he's trying to bring people together. Anyways, his new comedy show is great. However, in addition to that, he's got a new podcast. He's had the Real Time podcast for quite some time, but he's got a new podcast and he calls it Club Random. So in this thing that he calls Club Random, his first few guests, he had William Shatner on. He's had Quentin Tarantino on, Judd Apatow. He had Bella Thorne on, and he had Pierce Morgan on. They're like literally apart in his house, and he actually has the video for it. They drink and smoke weed.
Yep.
And it's not like your show, and they just talk about shit. It's fucking hilarious. He says shit and stuff that normally people wouldn't say and talk about because they're getting fucked up while they're debating shit. There's only 5 episodes. He got in trouble because I guess that Bella Thorne, I don't even know who the fuck she is.
She's crazy.
Yeah. He kind of said to her, what's up with your fucking anxiety? Get over it. And shit like that. People are like, oh, he's mocking it. But he was kind of just saying like, we never had this problem with young kids today. Now there's something there. So what is it? And she couldn't articulate it. Yeah. And they were like, oh, he's beating her. You could tell it was a little uncomfortable, but he wasn't trying to be mean. I don't think so. Regardless, I find him fascinating. He's a lot of fun. And anybody that can be comedic and have and bring politics and educate people on some stuff is always fun and interesting. I like it. And I would say Bill Maher's mine.
It's amazing. I just watched it. I texted Zeus about it. I'm like, you have to see this if you haven't seen it. It's great. Even if you don't like politics, if you're an adult and you're paying attention to what's going on in the world right now, he's awesome.
Yeah, his HBO show, Real Time, Bill Maher. It's for us on this coast, it's like 10 p.m. on Friday nights. It's scheduled for me. Boom.
Yep.
Set up. I watch it all the time. Fucking hilarious.
What do you got, Sonny?
So for the listeners, we don't actually talk about our rock hard segments beforehand,
right?
At all. And I also picked a comedic guy. So after listening to this album, I was like, I need something to pep me up a little bit because oh my God. Thank God You Could Be Mine's near the end of the album because it did kind of get me out of the funk a little. But then My World came and I'm like, what the fuck? So I'll get in a mood where I need to be like worked out of it and laugh no matter what. And there's not a lot of comedians that can do that for me. Sebastian Maniscalco is one of them. Eddie Murphy's one of them. But one of my favorite comedians of all time, Ron White. So I wasn't a huge blue collar comedy guy, but when they split up, Larry the Cable Guy, okay. I don't listen to much of Foxworthy stuff at all.
Ron White's
I
good.
love Ron White. Ron White takes it to the extreme. He usually stays away from politics. It's usually a lot more relationship based and things that he noticed and things that has happened to him, and how he'll go off the deep end a little bit when somebody pisses him off, or when he's absolutely hammered beyond belief and he does stupid things. The comedy album I was listening to was 2013's A Little Unprofessional. Great comedy album. It's an easy listen. It's about an hour. He talks about his new marriage, talks about Vegas. He talks about Dr. Phil, his Dr. Phil story, which is fucking amazing. But just funny as funny can be. And Ron White gets me out of the funk sometimes. He's easy to listen to.
You didn't.
I've never seen him live.
You never said anything about Bill Enville. You don't like the "here's your sign" shit.
Yeah, I'm not. When it was same thing with the Kings of Comedy. Like when the Kings of Comedy split up, I went the Bernie Mac route.
Oh yeah,
like a lot of the other guys, I was like, but
Jeff
Bernie Mac for some
Foxworthy's
reason connected.
too.
Yeah, it just didn't connect with me.
I love it. There's another one I haven't said on the show yet, Tom. Initiate. My wife ate 2 double cheeseburgers, chicken wings, this and that, and then she ate another blueberry pies. I love those southern words. What do you got, buddy?
All right. So I always talk about horror movies here, and this one I wanted to give some props to because I'm very, very, very particular.
You're very particular about the types of movies you watch?
I'm like the worst movie critic in the world, especially when it comes to horror movies. I get very, very picky. I like original stories because it's so easy for people to just do like, the possession thing, the slasher thing, or whatever. This one was really, really took me by surprise. It's on Shudder. I always talk about the Shudder streaming service. No, they're not a sponsor. Maybe they will be someday. It's a movie called See for Me, SEE, See for Me. It's about a young girl she used to be a skier. She's now blind, and she's hired to just like house sit in this secluded mansion in the middle of nowhere in the woods, just to house sit. She's blind. Three thieves break into the house, not knowing that she's there. They think the house is unoccupied. So what she uses is this thing that I never even knew existed until I Googled it. And it's an actual real app. Okay. The movie is called See for Me. That's the app that she uses. The real app that you can download is called Be My Eyes. So what it is it's an app that you install it on your phone, you hit the button, and you'll get a volunteer on the other end. And what the blind person does is they hold their phone up, and the person on the other end will guide them to where they need to be. So, for example, like this girl, she's locked out of the mansion. So she calls this See for Me app and says, I'm locked out. I don't know where the doors are. Can you help me? So the person on the other end is like, keep going straight. Okay, there's a stair in front of you. Go down. Okay, take a left. The door is there. Okay. What happens later in the movie when these guys break in, her only defense is to use this app. So the person on the other end of the app is guiding her, saying, okay, don't go down that hallway. I can see the man. He's hiding behind the wall there. Go down the other hallway. And then eventually the woman on the other end of the app helps her into shooting and killing all 3 guys in the house.
So why am I going to watch it? You just told me.
It doesn't matter because it's not a spoiler. If you saw the movie, you'd understand how it's going to end. The point of the movie is the dynamic and like just the whole aspect of a blind person defending themselves through the use of like this app, which actually exists. I just found it unbelievably fascinating that the woman, like she's completely blind and she uses her blindness as a defense against the guys that break into the house. It's really creative. And I looked at this thing. That's the app. It's called Be My Eyes.
And she can't, like, they can't hear her because obviously she has to speak to them. Hey, where do I go? Like, they can't hear her.
Well, no, they end up catching her. Okay. But she's like, I'm blind. And they're like, yeah, bullshit. And she's like, no, I'm blind. The only thing I have is light sensitivity. I can't see anything. I can't see your faces. I don't know how many of you there are. I don't know anything. Just please let me go. and then the story unfolds. I mean, it's not really a spoiler. It's a home invasion. Everybody who watches a home invasion house realizes that the guys end up getting killed. But the point that you're watching it for is just the aspect of like the dynamic of like this poor blind woman is using this service, which really exists, for help. And I just found it extremely original and fascinating. It's a thriller. It's not a horror movie. It's a thriller. Sonny's laughing because apparently he doesn't care about blind people.
No, I was loud. That's mean. What I was laughing about is, I don't know who you are. I can't see you, but I know you're a motherfucker.
Yeah, that's right. Motherfucker. Exactly. So yeah, that's a nice original one.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, Sonny, we're going to see you at Creatures Fest. I hope you'll see the rest of you guys at Creatures Fest. But where else can everyone here find you?
GrownUpRock.com is probably the best place. And Podcast Rock City every Sunday with Joe Polo and me and Brent and Mr. Casada.
Oh,
notice I put Casada at the end because that's where he should be.
And you called him Mr. Casada.
Yeah, and he's the ass of the group, so he's at the end.
Oh, he's at the ass end. He's the locomotive. Yeah. Nice.
Ooh, Locomotive.
Nice.
Tom, what about us?
Yeah, if you're listening to us for the first time, we're an all Kiss podcast. We drop new Kiss episodes every Saturday, and then once a month we do these album review crew episodes with Mr. Pooney. You can find out all about us on our new website, shoutitoutloudcast.com. You can email us at shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. Give us some feedback. What do you think of this album? What do you think of GNR in general? And we're on all the social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. So reach out. Interested to see what people think of this album. Obviously, Sonny thinks it's the worst one we've done on ARC, but I don't know. Interested to see what you guys think.
Yeah, I always tell people they can DM us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. These episodes drop every once a month. So sometimes the feedback on these, they come in little intervals and stuff. But the best is emails. Email us at shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. Shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. Feel free, as Tom mentioned, to go to the website, shoutitoutloudcast.com. and go on the episode and write us something there on the episode. We'd love to get your feedback. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and give us one of those 5-star child reviews. Those are always helpful, and always check us out. So we really appreciate it, guys. And what we usually do next is go to famous last words. Sonny, you got any?
We practice selective annihilation of mayors and government officials. For example, to create a vacuum. Then we fill that vacuum as popular war advances. Peace is closer.
Stick to heroin guns.
Woo-hoo.
Oh, boy.
Tomas.
I knew the storm was getting closer, and all my friends said I was high. But everything we've ever known's here. I never wanted it to die.
I thought you were going to go to above the law, but I was high above the law.
Alone.
I thought you were going to do Ace in Ozone.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Ozone.
Brutal.
And I was getting drunk.
What do you got, Zeus?
All right. Gotta find a way to cure this loneliness. Yeah, I'll find a way to cure the pain. If I said that you're my friend and our love would never end, how long before I had your trust again?
Wow.
You don't notice the great lyrics in the song because they're fucking going like a locomotive.
It's too much. It's like, yeah. Exactly.
Well, Tom, thank you. Sonny, thank you. Loudcasters, Kiss Army, Guns N' Roses, and fucking Snap-a-Flaps, whoever else is out there we forgot to thank. Joey Casada. Thank you.
What are we thanking him for?
I don't know.
Always a great time. You know, the album is what it is.
Gotta love doing these with Sonny.
Christ.
That's why we love this. Guys, thank you everybody so much for listening, tuning in. Please give us your feedback. This one is sure to garner a lot of feedback. So, yeah. And you took everything. That's Zeus in the background.
Peace out, Girl Scout. That goes for all you punks in the podcasting world. That means you, Sonny Pooney, Grown Up Rock, Jay Scott from the Hook Rocks, Joey Casada from Top 5 with Joey Casada. Fuck you. Suck my fucking dick.
You didn't throw in, you're just mad because I'm getting more pussy than your dad?
Sonny, you mad because Stephen Michael gets more pussy than you? Fuck you.
That's you have gone too far.
That's going to upset Sonny.
That was the fucking line right
That's
there.
too much.
I am going to kill you.
See you next time.